Good for them. Yeah, good for them.
This is where the gas.
13. Right, yours don't have it, mine does.
Oh, okay.
See,
We're
mine's
beyond it.
block 13, this is where she wants to do it. 15 tiny houses.
There's
Yeah.
Everybody,
okay.
we ready for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let the roll call show all is present, and we do have a quorum. Those that would like to join me in an opening prayer, please do so. Oh Lord, thank you for your blessings you've bestowed upon our town. Give our governing body guidance in our decision that we make today. May our decisions be beneficial for our town and all of its citizens. God bless the town and our citizens. I ask you all of this in your name, Lord. Amen.
Amen. Yeah, approval of the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda.
Second. With any been moved, we approve the agenda, been seconded. Discussion. We have additional,
Yeah.
we
so-
gotta amend the agenda.
Yeah, what were you? You did tell me, I heard.
We did not, we were gonna discuss the senior housing contracts.
Okay, yeah, so that would be on,
So we need to make a motion to amend the agenda.
okay, so before we approve.
Yes.
I move that we amend the agenda. This would be, probably in new business, and this would be senior housing leases. So it'd be a C.
New business, where we,
16.
No,
Yes.
it's unfinished business.
It's unfinished business? Okay, so unfinished business. Yeah.
so you moved, can I have a second?
Wait, there's another amendment.
What do we have?
There's two. Tammy has them. The stickies. I gave-
The what?
You have two sticky notes. For the amendments that needed to be done. Marcus did one of them.
The travel vouchers?
Mhm.
We need
26 and 20.
the 26th and the 29th on the travel vouchers. We need to amend that agenda for that.
Subagenda C and C, or D.
D,
Subagenda D and
D and E.
On unfinished
consent agenda D and E.
consent agenda D
And E.
and E. Make a motion that we approve the amended agenda.
I'll
Second.
second.
Okay, been moved second, we approve the amended agenda, which includes travel vouchers under consent agenda D and E, which would include unfinished business, senior housing. Those would be added to the printed to the agenda as presented. with a motion on the table to approve as amended. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed the same. Motion passed, all in the affirmative. Communications from citizens. Mike?
I'm Mike Litch. I'm here representing the Wind River Lodge number 25, the Masonic Lodge here in Shoshoni. Just this was something we were gonna handle tomorrow night. We got a dinner and stuff, but the gentleman couldn't be there for it. As we did voted as a group over there for the Citizen of the Year through the Masonic Lodge. And at this time, I'd like to present this plaque to Mark Nordine as a citizen to the Masonic Lodge. That's surprising, huh?
Got it covered.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
yeah, no
Okay.
problem.
Congratulations, Mark.
Thank you.
Looking at them.
We need those pictures.
I'm a Mason also, and that's a lodge we present annually to us, to a citizen that, the members of the lodge believe that's you've done an excellent job and being a good citizen in the town of Shoshoni. Mark was chosen over multiple selections, and there was a lot of good people in Shoshoni, but ultimately Mark was chosen and won that award.
Thank you. I'm quite honored. Appreciate it. Thank you. Nice wood too. Good plaque.
In any event, see, Lisa.
Hello, I'm Lisa with Engineering Associates. I have a letter that I'm gonna pass out, so give me 5 seconds.
Thank you. 5 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you, young lady.
Thank you, dude.
So, I'm here today to give you guys an update on the condition of your water tank. Just as a little bit of background, in 2024, July of 2024, I believe the EPA reviewed the condition of the water tank and let the town know that it was in need of rehabilitation. And at that time, we were contracted to perform the tank road project. So it was something we were able to combine into that project with the ARPA funding, and it has now come to fruition. After some delays due to just other projects you guys had coming on. So this spring, the tank was drained, it was blasted. We inspected it for its condition, and then they've been recoating it. And I was talking to Mike just a minute ago about they're gonna start disinfecting the tank. And so the letter that I've provided today, this is a condition report. It is to let you know essentially the condition of the tank as we saw it. So long story short, the floor and the wall of the tank is in pretty good condition. You can see that it's been maintained in the past. There's evidence of welding and patching, and it didn't appear to have any significant pitting since your last rehab project. What did have some significant deterioration is the roof, a few of the roof members. There's a few pictures, and I'd be happy to provide those in an email so you can see them a little bit better. But it is clear that there's been some pretty good corrosion on the roof members on the bottom flange of a few, 4 maybe of the roof members, with more like 60% of all of them having the start of some corrosion and material loss on those members. So the letter that's
When you say members, are you reverting to trusses? Roof trusses essentially?
essentially, yeah, it's the beams along your along the roof of your
Thank you.
water tank. Yeah. So, yeah, about 60% of them are showing signs that they're corroding and it's time to do a little bit of rehab on those roof members. So that's the letter that I've provided. This is just to provide you some information, especially to take back to the EPA that asked you guys to perform the project. It gives a recommended timeline, which is pretty quick. We recommend that you get started on seeking funding for a rehab project sooner rather than later. Just mostly due to the condition of those roof members.
There was part of the corrosion, there was no, what I'm trying to say electrodes, but anodes or anti-corrosion rods in there.
Yeah, we, the Mikes and I don't think we saw any, sacrificial anodes. It is pretty common to
Yeah.
have sacrificial anodes in
Right.
your tank. It's not like I've always seen sacrificial anodes in every tank. It's not usually needed until it's needed. Typically, when you're dealing with these water tanks, a really good coating with the appropriate thickness of your epoxy coating will protect your tank. The sacrificial anodes are added if you do know that you have high corrosive water, or if you have other suspicions of potential cause of corrosion in your tank, which all I would be able to do is speculate as to why the corrosion on your roof members are worse than anywhere else. I don't know that it's an indicator that you have corrosive water by any means. I think it's just time for a rehab project, a formal rehab project for your tank.
What defines corrosive water?
Well, it's what is eating away at your steel.
I get that, but what physically, what is that?
There's a few things that cause it. It does come from the quality of your water. So if some of what I say about the corrosive water, it could come out of the ground as just being a little bit more corrosive than other water sources. It depends on the chemistry of the water.
More
pH.
acidic, more basic? I mean, which one is it?
It's a mixture of all sorts. It's more acidic, but it's a mixture of a lot of different things. And some of the things that I have seen in other tanks, if you aren't getting really good flow through your tank and mixing of your water can become corrosive sitting in your tank. Now, I don't think that's the case in yours, but it's just a example of some of the things that can happen in your water system.
If it's mainly in the upper part of the roof, could that be condensation and maybe not properly sprayed or something? I mean, because that's actually
Yeah,
or condensation, correct?
yeah,
There.
the roof slopes
Yeah.
up to the center. And so where we were seeing the most damage is down at the ends.
Okay.
So it's a pretty good indicator that yes, water was condensing up and traveling down the members and then dripping off. And you're seeing your worst damage where it was dripping off. To your point, the speculation that I would have, just due to the condition of the rest of your tank, which it was good, is maybe they didn't pay as particular care to the top, because it's harder. It's more nooks and crannies that you have to sandblast and then coat very, very well. So speculation, because that was years ago and I have no idea.
Okay.
But that's my guess. Yes, it's very likely the result of condensation and movement of water along those metal.
So how is that fixed? Sandblasted and then coated again, or is it any materials added for the corrosion? Because some of that looks pretty toothy.
Yeah,
It's pretty impressive. Yeah.
There's pretty significant loss on those that I have the picture of. What we would end up recommending is welding additional plates on the bottom of those beams where it's missing to a certain length along the beam. But yeah, welding, filling in holes, and then adding material to just shore up those members.
So essentially fish putting those.
But yes, good sandblast so that you get a good profile on the metal and then recoating it again with an appropriate epoxy. And then to your point about sacrificial anodes, if you did have concerns about it, you could go back and add additional sacrificial anodes. They're as far as maintenance, you have to keep an eye on them and you have to replace them when they're gone, but they are a reasonable addition to counter that. Cost wise, cost and maintenance. You can replace them, like the divers that come and clean your tanks can replace them for you.
So am I reading that accurately that the walls and floor seem in suitable condition? It's only the roof we need to be concerned about at this time.
You will want to perform sandblasting and recoating of the whole structure. But when it comes to actual repairs, like significant repairs, that would be focused on the roof.
Didn't we just, I mean, that's what we just did, right?
You did, yes.
So you're not saying in 1 to 2 years sandblast it,
Yes, I'm saying in 1 to 2 years, you're gonna want to sandblast and recoat
the entire structure that we,
the interior, yeah. And that's for a few reasons. It's because you are looking to get an appropriate profile of the steel of your tank. If you are going and leaving sections of paint on there, and not getting a good connection with your new epoxy to the old epoxy, which it's not intended to do, it doesn't bridge those different material types, it will have the chance of delaminating and you'll be back.
so you're saying it wasn't done properly
In this case,
recently, like.
I think this was not what I would consider a full formal rehabilitation of the tank. This was a intermediate step that allowed us to view the condition of the tank so that we can address the issues. Because when this started, it was the EPA issued a deficiency with concern of structural integrity. So the project that we have done, we got that in under the funding that you had within the amount that you had so that we could see the extent of what accuracy that deficiency was calling for. Does that make sense?
Clarify, we had the funding before we knew about the EPA's problem. And so we took the funding that we already had pre-approved for a project, expanded the scope to include this, to buy us time to seek additional funding.
We used what I call valued engineering to come in a little under cost that allowed us, we had leftover money and allowed us to do this.
And it was not visible from with the corrosion, what extent the damage was. You can't see that. You can see corrosion, you can see it building up, but you can't see that it ate away those members the way it did.
So you actually sandblasted and, or whatever blasted.
Right, it's sandblasted.
So you're just saying your recommendation is to start immediately, if not sooner, on trying to find the proper funding to do the
Right.
complete rehab.
Right, yeah, within 1 to 2 years, and that the
But
time it takes to get that funding,
It's
you
a year,
should
1
start
to
now.
2 years to get awarded the grant if we started now.
Right.
Sorry for the question, I just.
Good questions.
Any other questions for Lisa? I appreciate your work on this project and coming here and bring this presentation to us.
Sure.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, guys. Like I said, if you wanted to see the pictures, just shoot me an email and I will email them.
Unfortunately, in these photos aren't really good, but I can see it pretty clear.
Yeah.
Bad photos, so it does highlight how significant the damage is.
Yeah, the copy wasn't very good. But you know, the
Right
condition.
on the back side of that, it's,
Yeah.
yeah, I see that's. That's why we hire the engineers, right?
That's why you do rehab projects on
To
your.
give
team.
us educated guidance.
Yes. All right, well, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Very good. Helen,
Thank you for having me here tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, I was at the Hudson meeting. That's why I'm a few minutes late. So sorry about that, but it's my second town council meeting of the night. And I just wanted to hand out a couple of things. So I'm here to give an update on our projects and national travel and tourism data, and also to answer any questions that you have.
thank you.
Got one more. Right. So the first thing I was going to go over, our current budget, we are working off of $994,034. Next fiscal year, we're looking at $1,061,268. Plus, we'll be getting $300,000 in destination development funds. I don't know how many of you have heard about the wayfinding project that we're working on. But we have almost finished the signage in DuBois, Lander, and Riverton. And we have been working with the committee that this group put together for the signage in Hudson and Shoshoni. And we don't have a color printer in the office, but I wanted to show you what the color looks like.
Those are very obvious in Riverton. They're getting.
And I've heard really good things from each of the three communities. The goal with this project was to really show the personalities of each community, but also to show that it's the same county. So they all have a similar look, but they reflect the personality of the communities. And the reason I just brought that up with the $300,000 is that's how we're funding this project, is with the Destination Development Grant. This will be the third time we've received this grant, and it's not a cheap project, but this is the part that we're adding in the Hudson and Shoshoni pieces. So now the project itself is developed. We have the full master strategic plan for it, and we'll apply for the funding in June. Assuming we get the funding, which we should, then it'll be July when we receive it, and then that project will start. As a warning, it did take about 2 years in DuBois, Lander, and Riverton. So I don't know how long it's going to take in Hudson and Shoshoni, but they'll be working on the two projects together, and they have the full plan now, and it's all worked out. As far as tourism asset development funds, this current fiscal year, we were looking at 9,900. Next fiscal year, because lodging tax revenue has gone up, we're looking at 10,570. I did want to go over some of the projects we are currently working on. Actually, I'm going to go over this first. So I handed out this lodging tax collections chart, which shows you where we're at for lodging tax collections. This is not what we're seeing in the rest of the state. So we are continuing to go up, but many places in the state are seeing a dip in tourism. We have been marketing heavily to our surrounding states, and that's where we're seeing most of the visitation right now. So most of our visitations coming from Colorado, Montana, surrounding states. But you'll see that we're at 1,05,521.11 for this fiscal year so far, with 2 months remaining. Some other projects we've been working on where we worked with the county and Fremont County Museums on the Wind River Heritage Quest. This was a grant that we helped the county apply for through Wyoming 250. It's a 15 location scavenger hunt through the county, and people have the opportunity to pick up prizes at the museums like magnifying glasses, stickers, and reusable water bottles. As part of National Travel and Tourism Week, which was last week, we launched the new website, which has an AI component, lots of very modern, fun things with it. If you haven't checked it out yet, check it out, windriver.org. But that just launched last week, and that's been a project we've been working on for about the last year. It also has an itinerary building tool, so people can go on it, chat with AI, tell them what they're interested in, and AI will actually help them create an itinerary for our area. As part of National Travel and Tourism Week, we also launched a community cocktail and mocktail project. A few people have asked me what mocktails are, so for those who don't know, it's a cocktail without the alcohol. But we had community members submit recipes in the month of March, and then we split them up for 3 events in DuBois, Lander, and Riverton. Those events happened last week. We had a finalist from each. So we've got 3 final cocktails and mocktails. Those will go to a final review committee, and then Wyoming Whiskey will be serving the final one at Brewfest. We worked in partnership with Wyoming Whiskey and local venues. We don't spend any money on alcohol at the Wind River Visitors Council, but we did participate in this project and helped with marketing efforts and finding this community cocktail. I've already talked about the wayfinding signage, so I will skip that on my notes here. We did a resident sentiment survey in the past year. We had 87% of people saying that they were supportive of tourism, which we thought was a really high number. There's a lot more pieces to it than that. One of the things that I found interesting was that the resident sentiment went up for the people who lived here longer, while the newer residents weren't so excited about the visitors, which was kind of an interesting.
What was the sample size?
We did. Yeah, I'll have to look that up. It was with University of Wyoming, and they were very careful to make sure we had an adequate sample size. What was interesting with the sample size were the communities were so small themselves that they have to look at the complete results as opposed to breaking down the communities, but we got unofficial community results as well. And I'm happy to, actually it's on our website, but I can also email it to you, but we've got the full survey on there. I want to say we had several hundred people that responded, and we sent out, gosh, I don't want to make it up, but for some reason the number 2,000 is popping in my head, but that's probably wrong. But I'm happy to send it to you if you'd like.
Now, I'm just kind of curious what the sample size was. It kind of talks, of course, that's why they had to not include the small communities, just the validity of the sample.
Yeah, and it was, they worked with their research team. We had a couple of prizes we gave away. We had a Dude Ranch donate a weekend stay and some binoculars from Maven as well as incentive. And we did get several hundred people that responded from all over the county as well as the reservation. But check it out on the website. It's got all the answers on there. The other thing we're doing is working on a destination marketing accreditation program. This is called DMAP. It's through Destinations International. It is a process of basically the Destinations International will look at every single thing we do. They'll look at our marketing plan. They'll look at our timesheets. They're looking at everything we do. There's 80 different things that they look at. And I'll just read this sentence, but this program represents the industry's benchmark for organizational excellence and reflects a commitment to best practices in governance, transparency, and stakeholder engagement. Something else we did this year was we had a big ad running in the Denver International Airport. And I think I had talked to this group about a year ago and said we were going to do this. We ran it through the holiday season, and because of some marketing changes they had at the airport, we got two months extra before they actually took it down. So we got 4 months instead of 2. It was going down toward the train and baggage claim. and it got a lot of attention. And the way that we tracked that was, first off, it was really fun to see all the locals posting it on Facebook saying, look, I saw this in the airport. But the other thing we did was we put a QR code on it. And I didn't really anticipate that many people would, I figured people would see it, but they wouldn't use the QR code. But we got several hundred people who looked at that QR code. So that was a positive thing. And I would say that campaign was a success. I wanted to go over a few quick numbers. National Travel and Tourism Week was last week. And we just got our stats for 2025. So Fremont County welcomed 518,000 visitors for a total of 1,186,000 overnight stays. Travel generated 1,540 jobs in Fremont County. Travelers spent $181.3 million in Fremont County in 2025, which was an increase of 2.7%. From 2024. Top sectors for spending included food, accommodations, arts, entertainment, recreation, transportation, gas, retail sales, and groceries. The average length of stay was 2.3 days, and the top origin markets for visitors to Wind River Country include Colorado, Montana, Utah, Texas, and California. So there's a lot more information on this sheet. One of the things I found really interesting too is that while many Wyoming residents travel throughout the state, 72.5% of direct visitor spending was generated by international and out-of-state visitors. And this is all data that's generated from something called the Dean Runyon Associates Report, which is provided through the Wyoming Office of Tourism. We will be putting out a full annual report. We just got these numbers. I've got it in draft form. It'll probably go to the printer tomorrow, and then hopefully we'll have it in the next week or two. But we will have a full report with these numbers. And that was really my update. I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody has.
Anybody, any questions? Well, appreciate the presentation.
Thank you.
Would add those signs that I saw in Riverton are pretty nice.
The wayfinding.
Yes.
I am thrilled with how the project turned out. And I will say that when we first started it, I thought, oh, this will be easy. And I was literally walking up and down streets with a notebook and a pen and writing down the signs we had and what we needed to sign, and quickly realized that there's a lot involved, and speed limits, size of sign, even the fonts that are used on the signs. So we did bring in a contractor who I think a few people in this room have met to the committee and worked with, and that's who created the strategic plan. I'm happy to send that to anybody who wants it. It's a very large document that will end up going to the sign company for installation and fabrication. Okay. No questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Do we have any more communication from citizens? Move on to the consent agenda. Wind River World application number 7.
Page 5 of your packet. 134,980.91. And this is actually the second part of the previous pay application. It was just split into two. So at the end, 334,000. It was 200,000 for one, and then 134,000 for this one. So there's nothing new. It was something that we've already had. It's just the second portion of it.
Move we approve Wind River Oilfield Service pay application number 7.
Been moved by Councilman Stetler to approve Winter Oil Field Service Pay Application number 7, second by Councilman Whitener.
Yeah.
I heard it on this side, I thought. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. 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 Pose the same. Motion passed, all in the affirmative. Approval of the minutes, April 28th, 2026. We have a motion to approve the minutes.
Move we approve the minutes from April 28th, 2026.
Moved by Councilman Stetler to approve the minutes of April 28th, 2026. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Nordine.
What was the change in there that you
Yeah.
asked about
Yeah, that.
regarding the
Yeah.
strategic plan?
Yeah, it wasn't the ranges, it was the towns.
Yeah,
So,
that was in there in that you.
yeah,
So we're in discussion.
it was in, it's right there. But that wasn't the. That's the last meeting. It was the meeting before that where, okay, so it's not gonna be.
On my end.
Any discussion? If none being, all in favor to approve the minutes, say aye.
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 Pose the same. Motion passed, all affirmative. Approval of the bills, April 29th, 2026 to May 12th, 2026.
We have installed electric heater in apartment 1.
What'd you say?
We have installed electric heater in apartment 1.
No. L.
Was that a
Or
hot
no,
water
I.
heater?
I'm sorry, I,
Oh,
that's the I.
I have a question about Johnny J's diner. Lunch. 172.53.
It's a MasterCard payment, so that's just the last entry of that cycle for
Yeah.
that card.
Yeah, remember, it always takes the last entry. It doesn't, there could be like 5 different entries and it just picks up the last one.
That's a pretty expensive lunch, isn't it?
I think it was 1609 off. the top of
Yeah,
my head.
something like that.
Yeah.
Probably whatever the special was.
Thanks.
Move that we approve the bills from April 29th, 2026 through May 12th, 2026.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded, we approve the bills from April 29th, 2026 to May 12th, 2026. We hadn't done that. Now we're in discussion. Any further discussion?
Any discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed, same. Motion passed, all the affirmative. Chief, do you want to read the title of each?
No, we have the travel.
Travel vouchers.
Oh, excuse me, I got the new one I got, travel vouchers. Travel voucher D. What is that?
That's for 426.
What's travel voucher D for?
It's
Can you read
for
it?
FPEG meeting in Hudson. 426. 74 miles.
The date was for 426.
426.
Yeah, not the amount.
Yeah, and then the mile for 74 miles.
And the amount is,
$53.65.
5365.
Hold on. I guess we can wait till discussion.
Yeah, do I have a motion to approve?
Move we approve the voucher. For 426.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Been moved by Councilman Seller, second by Councilman Nordine to approve the voucher for
53.65.
5365. Discussion.
Why are we approving a voucher when we have a vehicle to drive? And secondly, it states right here on the voucher, use of personal vehicle by choice when town vehicle is available to be at a reduced rate.
Because there wasn't a city vehicle available,
Who was driving the car?
I was.
You were driving the Durango?
No, the Durango was inoperative. And
What was an operative with the Durango?
it was in the shop.
Mhm.
It wasn't in the shop.
No, the
Well,
seatbelt
was
wedged
it?
in the door. so
There's
it
a
would
times it
stop.
does not start.
Cause the seatbelt was wedged in the door. You didn't look. City worker walked right out there and started it.
I think that was the.
No, that was the next
That
one,
was
but
it.
I've had multiple times when that vehicle would not start just because of that. It kicks a transmission code.
Every
I've
vehicle
been-
throws it a code.
Code's a code, but a code it leaves me a foot.
So then you only get half of the mileage.
No, a damn car would not run. Excuse my language, ladies.
You have complained about that car that it's cigarette smoke and this and that. Every time you turn around, you've complained about that car.
The car has a nasty odor, yeah.
We've had people out in it and they say there is no smell.
I've had people that agrees it has.
You
But
did-
anyway, that has nothing to do with
So
it
you're
not
only
starting.
entitled to
It has
36
nothing to do with
0.25
it not,
cents a mile.
it has nothing to do with it not starting.
The seatbelt was wedged in the door.
No, not that time.
Not what the worker said.
They're lying.
Okay.
They did not check it. I've had to be able to start it. I've had to use my personal code reader to erase the code to get it to start. I purchased one for the town, so I could have one with me.
But you're only entitled to 36.25 cents a mile. That is the way we set that up. If you use your own
If a
vehicle,
vehicle was available.
there was one
Vehicle is not
available.
available, it would not start.
Joel, you've had nothing but
You
complaints
calling
about
me a
using that.
liar?
I'm just telling you, I know that you won't use it half the time.
No, I
You always
use it
come up
all
with
the
it.
time.
No,
I
you
can't-
don't.
Yes, I do. If the darn thing will start, then I use it.
Starts and run, I use it.
When's the last time you drove it?
Where was the last time I took it?
Cheyenne.
No, I think I've driven it since then. But I haven't traveled a whole lot, but I've traveled.
I
used
only
it.
agree to 36.25 cents per mile. That's what we set up for that.
If the vehicle was operational, I have a vehicle drive.
was.
I did not take a personal choice to take my vehicle. I do not want to continue wearing out my diesel pickup, driving it on city business. I want to drive a city car.
You've had a complaint about that car since you got it.
And I've been driving it. That
Alright.
isn't why I did not drive it. I did not drive it because of the darn thing. We had it in, I'd have checked the date, see if it was in the shop or not, but anyway, it was we did have it in the shop.
Who shop? What mechanic shop did we have it go to?
Jack Andrews shop. We need to probably take it to Dodge and see why it keeps kicking that transmission cord. The time where you return to the seatbelt, I left the code reader in the car. It didn't read a transmission code, but it would not start. Would not move. But because it had done it so many other times,
It was in the shop on 422.
okay,
So
So that was after,
that was before he went on his trip.
correct?
So it should have been fine.
but it wasn't, every so often, it has not started. It's been doing that for the last 3-4 months.
So it didn't start that time you tried to take it?
Yes. I did not intentionally on purpose take my vehicle. If it would start and go, I would not be driving
It's the,
my
first
pickup
time-
on purpose.
That's the first time we've seen a travel voucher and
I know.
so it's not been an ongoing, I mean, I'm just saying that.
I just know this Durango hasn't moved out here for over a month.
It has too.
Really? Just to the shop.
Hmm?
Once in that month. So 3 days after the one to Hudson, you have one to Saratoga.
Which is quite a few miles.
Yeah,
from that.
360.
Yeah, but it wouldn't. It would not, I needed to go to Saratoga.
And it wouldn't start that day
It would
either?
not start.
That was the seatbelt.
That was the seatbelt.
And so you didn't notice the seatbelt?
No, I didn't notice the seatbelt. It was a continuing problem that's happened many times. I tried for 15 minutes to get it going. I had to get to Saratoga.
What door was the seatbelt wedged in?
The door,
Passenger or driver's door?
drivers.
Wouldn't it make sense that the driver has the seatbelt on?
When I'm starting the car, no. Would not start. I fueled it up down at the fuel station.
You didn't wear a seatbelt to go down there?
Must
You
have,
get it?
that's why
Yeah,
it
put
was
a
stuck
seatbelt
in the
on.
door.
Now, when I start the car, anyway, darn seatbelt. Have no idea, but it acted the same as it did prior. Every other time. This has happened half a dozen times at least. It didn't act any different. I did not want to take my pickup, buying $5 a gallon diesel fuel and drive down there and drive back and wear out my truck and my tires.
Or you
New
buying
tires.
$5 gallon diesel, I want some of that.
Yeah, in any event. I took the car to fuel it up. I needed to fuel it up so I could drive it, and it left me a foot. So my wife had to come and get me again, which isn't the first time she had to come and get me.
I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to be driving a vehicle that's unreliable.
I wouldn't do it.
I just,
Well, and
it's, I mean, it just, particularly like in Saratoga, if it didn't start down there, then that's a real problem.
in the past with the code reader, I've been able to erase the code and start the car.
Okay, because you have no budget left for, travel.
And half,
And then and is that my fault? We took as long as we did to get that car running. No, that's not my fault.
I'm just saying, you have no travel money. You guys, everybody was told to watch their budget, because there was no travel money. So why did you have to go to Saratoga?
That was a recreation grant meeting, and he was there representing the town, and frankly, it paid off. I mean, we're gonna be able to have a range visit from the committee because he was there and was able to talk to people.
And that was for the range?
It was for the range. Yeah, it really was.
It's
And
just-
so,
That still doesn't matter, we still don't have the money to pay him, is what I'm trying to say.
yeah, it's not much.
Mhm.
You said it wasn't my choice. It was,
But you said if you use the reader, the car works just fine.
it did not start, didn't work that time because it was a seat belt, but I did not notice the seat belt, but it acted exactly the same way it had every time in the past. But the code reader would not. So I thought, what the heck else is happening now? I wouldn't be driving it like Mark and Jake said, except the code reader, as they always, with the code reader. Once I figured that out, I was able to get it to restart.
What time did you leave to go down to Saratoga?
5 a.m.
Yeah. I mean, there wasn't a lot of help available at that time.
what time did you leave to go to FK? In Hudson,
Probably noon. No. Probably 10.
so to me, the FCAG one is more alarming than the Saratoga situation, simply because the vehicle just came out of the shop for this issue that's not starting.
Is that what it was in the shop for this issue?
Motor mounts.
Motor mounts and what else was
Axle
axle?
and scanned computer system.
So it was out of the shop at this point, so why didn't we drive it then?
Because it wouldn't start. I don't have time to mess around all day to get something running. But I definitely had no option on 5 a.m.
I don't disagree with that. That's pretty black and white.
So if you feel compelled to shorten me on that,
It's not for me, it ain't about shortening anything. We put this policy in place.
if I have a
And
reliable
there's
vehicle,
one-offs, but if we're having a car that's an issue, then I think we need to look at,
Getting it fixed.
I think to me, there's a bigger problem. If we're just if we're,
Get a new one, how old is it?
if we're sticking money in.
The problem with the transmission is because it went from a shifter, when they put a new console into the dial. And that's not how it was manufactured, so it needs to be recoded to be the dial instead of the shifter. That's why you're getting that.
So.
And
we're
Jack
gonna-
Andrews can't fix that because he don't
Dodge.
have the factory scanner
So you have to take it to Dodge
have to take it to
Or-
Dodge.
or Gunners.
or Gunner's can do it.
I bet they could, because I
It
know
had
they got the
it had
factory stuff.
Paddle shifter originally. And the new console is the dial. And so it had to have a pigtail to attach to it. And so it's not set by the factory.
My little code reader just says transmission code, but it's one of them it's a $50 code reader. It really doesn't
but it will reboot.
So you're saying it
And I've
does
been
have
trying to get
problems.
by until we got our next budget year where we could have take it, have it redone.
So is this vehicle drivable or is this vehicle not drivable? This is a black and white question. It's what?
That's drivable.
I think it is, as long as I got my code reader with me.
This is gonna be probably programmed.
What,
with
Chris?
the new hardware. It needs to be properly programmed with the new hardware
Yes,
to alleviate that air popping up.
That can't be grossly expensive. I mean, it would take a few hours, I'm sure. I don't
My
know.
Corvette that requires a lot takes about 30 minutes.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
yours
they-
is all factory. Yeah,
No, when I get like a new they replace my transmission, I have to reprogram it.
Yeah.
And it's all the computer stuff and it's all dialed up and they load it in there and it doesn't take very long. You just have to have the right equipment.
I think it probably depends on the vehicle, because I had the same thing with my truck, with some transmission work, and they had to reprogram it as well, and they were having trouble with it, and it took about a couple hours to get it done. Yeah.
I guess, yeah, things go wrong, I guess. It
Yeah.
shouldn't take that long though, but it should
Yeah.
be pretty quick.
Maybe I should drive it fit. That's what I'm thinking.
I do.
You can drive it. I don't drive it. You can get in it.
No, I could, but getting out might be the problem.
That's usually my problem.
When they switched the transmission from the shift to
Dial.
the dial. Fixing the codes or switching that interface was not a part of that repair.
No, the town did that.
Oh.
Bart, our town employee did that portion of it, which is why it's not programmed.
Okay.
That makes any sense.
I was just like, no, you guys just take it back where you got it.
Yeah.
Tell them, no, you've got to fix this problem right now. Okay, sorry, I'll shut up. You're fine.
That would be the right thing to do.
Except Mark still can't fix it without the factory computer.
Yeah, right.
Right.
and Jack Andrews said he can't fix it either,
Yeah.
and it never,
Let's cast the vote.
Spend the money, get it fixed right. Pay that loud. Well, it's another one.
so we gonna vote on both pay orders or one at a time? How do the council want to handle it? Someone make a motion.
There was already a motion on the travel voucher for 4/26/26.
It's already been seconded.
Okay.
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
I
I'll abstain from voting. Opposed?
Nay.
No, motion was passed. Councilwoman Hartke voted in the negative. The second travel voucher. I may have a motion to approve.
move that we approve the
I have a second.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Nordine, second by Councilman Stellar to approve the travel voucher. Discussion. Any discussion?
Again, we have no budget to travel, so something needs to change. Whether car starts, personal vehicle. Irregardless. Doesn't matter the situation. There's no remaining budget to travel. That's my discussion.
Any more discussion?
Do we know that the dealer can actually reprogram that properly and make it? I mean, do they have the code to be able to?
I would
make that?
guess they would. Jake's our mechanic.
A Cummins mechanic. If I had a problem with a Chrysler product, Stellantis product, whatever, I'd call Gunners and talk to Chuck. That's exactly what I would do.
Can we do that?
Me, no.
No, not you. I'm saying, can the town do that? This problem has to be solved. I mean, first of all, there's no budget, right? So the point is very true. And so the way around that is to get the Durango fixed. So let's get the Durango fixed so we can get that on the road. I don't know where the money is going to come from, but I can't imagine it's gonna be horrible. So let's figure out a way to get it done.
And the city can pay me in July. I mean,
Well, that'll make 2027 tight.
you know, I'm just saying, I don't know, whatever. I would.
Yep.
Trust me, I did not want to take my pickup. Any more discussion?
If the thing's unreliable, either we make it reliable or ship it.
That's kind of my thought process.
Get a
It ain't
geometric-
reliable for one, it's not gonna be reliable for all.
So.
But if
fix
it's
it
a
or ship
simple,
it.
if it's a little simple fix, let's get it taken care of.
Yeah, let's try that.
Most things I can usually get along with and get them to work, that's why.
Yeah, but that's not acceptable to have
Anyway.
jerry rig it.
Anyway. Any more discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye.
I,
I'll abstain. Opposed, nay.
Nay.
Motion passed, be noted that Councilwoman Hartke voted voted negative. No public hearing. Chief, are you gonna read the title of the ordinances and?
Yeah, I'll read the title, do.
Please don't read the whole ordinance.
I'm not gonna read 11 pages, I'll be here all night. So title only, ordinance 2026-19-4-001, an ordinance amending code number 19-4 of the Shoshoni Town Codes. Governing body, the town of Shoshoni hereby amends the Shoshoni Town Code 19-4 and its content is deleted in its entirety and replaced as follows. This is the districts generally stated. RA, R1, R2, R3, R4, C1, and M1. And then it has the table of land uses that accompanies the districts as previously discussed in workshops.
It means what exactly? Those numbers mean nothing to me.
They're what's allowed in each zone. It's a table to reference.
Like traffic violation, what is it?
It's for zoning, for like
Housing
housing, things of that zoning. Yeah, so it has all the different designations and it's not rezoning anything in town. It's just redefining what is allowed and what isn't allowed in each zone by category.
Very good, thank you.
The current ordinances are
Way outdated.
All the city ordinances are just some that were.
zoning. I mean,
Zoning.
a lot of them are subject to interpretation.
Yeah, so this is clarifying a lot of that.
And it was a couple of years ago, 3 years. I don't know, we went through and had all these workshops. They're on YouTube.
Right.
And went through this 80-page document a little bit. That's why I said, please don't read the whole thing.
Yeah.
I had to type all this stuff.
No, clarifying everything and redefining it to make everything, understandable. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
And like RA doesn't exist, but they got SR, which is agriculture, but it's very poorly defined. And RA would replace that resident agriculture,
Okay.
but it's clearly defined. It's the same thing that's going on now, but it actually spells it out better.
Excellent.
Yeah, R1 stands for residential 1, R2 residential 2.
And this is the first reading, so we'll have 2 more readings on this.
Two more readings where we can dive into it more and yes.
Thank you very much. So I just have one quick question, this is probably stupid. I have a neighbor that has chickens that run loose and it craps all over my car. So I have to redo my carport to make sure that it's not her chicken, that it's not birds, that it's her chicken. So if that happens again, how do I turn that into the city? Because I'm tired of it.
Choke the chicken.
Young lady, could you do me a favor, please? Step up to and identify yourself.
I will. Because
Thank you.
I
Invite.
don't know if that considers yours. I'm Christy Brannon. I live at 606. Oak
Thank
Street.
you.
I have an issue with the neighbor's chicken because I swear that it got on my vehicle, crapped all over it, and I was so embarrassed to have to drive to Riverton to clean it. You know, and it was thick. I'm talking about an inch thick all the way up to my windshield.
You guys do know you have chicken hawks over by your house, right?
Chicken what?
Hawks. You know
Chicken
the
hawks.
Across from your tree. There's lots of them. There's like 6 or 7.
Okay, well,
of them.
I'm taking care of the inside of my carport. I'm having it totally
Well, these are big,
refinished so
I'm
that they
telling
cannot perch on anything.
And-
Because as it is now, it's open. So I'm gonna make sure that it's all, so nothing can perch
Yes.
anywhere and crap anywhere in my car. Because I have a beautiful carport, but I can't use it.
I have seen near your home, I've seen chickens running all over the place.
Yeah, the neighbors.
Fence too, I've watched them.
And so
Yeah, but
those are
6 foot
probably
fence,
free
but that
roaming
chicken Can be
chickens.
on the bottom, it can be on the ground and hop that 6 foot fence. So she needs to clip the wings or something because it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
And once I get my carport fixed, I tell you, I'm gonna be here at City Hall complaining.
I
She
I
needs to do
have
something with those
seen,
chickens.
I know of someone that was having issues with dogs.
Okay,
And he put up a pretty inexpensive trail camera and had video proof of such stuff was going on. And
we put up more cameras, so that might help.
the chief can probably advise you better than I
I
can.
may or may not have caught a chicken crossing the road and posited the question online, but clearly we now have the answer to why the chicken crossed the road.
Right, just shit all over my car. Excuse me, I'm sorry for swearing. But it's at the point, but it's getting ridiculous. So that I actually hired a contractor to seal up everything, so nothing can perch underneath that carport.
I can,
So that I can park my vehicle under there.
I can talk to her about her chickens.
Because I get them clipped. I mean, because that chicken literally hopped over that 6 foot fence. I was like this because I was going like this and scared the chicken. So it jumped that 6 foot fence. I didn't know they could fly that high over a fence. But that
I see
chicken-
the same chickens. I'm just
Okay.
curious as to which one you see, because there's about 6 white ones, a gray one, a black one, a couple brown ones.
There's one that's got 4 little babies right behind it.
Oh,
Yeah, there is one.
I think she's pretty reasonable. I'll go. talk to
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything until I get my carport fixed, because maybe it's not her chicken. I don't know what's crapping all
Oh,
over my
no.
truck, but I can't park it under.
I got a doorbell
That's
read
not
camera
big
on my house, and it goes off on motion sense, and it'll ding my phone.
And you see the chickens running.
And there's chickens that are up by my car at 3 in the morning.
And yeah, they're just, I think they're free range, which is good for her, I guess. I don't know. Nice lady.
What they say about a free range chicken,
No.
Had a BB gun.
it's anybody's chicken.
I don't have
It's
any
anybody's
firearms. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, one of our visitors said, hey, I want chicken for dinner.
So anyway, you go off, yeah, no.
It's
Hopefully
not
they'll
ag,
find
it's
out,
your
maybe, like I
chicken.
said, maybe it wasn't her chicken that crapped all over my vehicle, but I just.
But it was big piles, like
I'll-
she said.
I'll talk to her about it.
They have some information that you guys could.
Could you please also come and introduce yourself, young lady, and talk to us?
What a quick subject, huh?
If I don't,
Sorry.
Linda Mans, and I am a legal citizen of the town of Shoshoni.
thank you, Linda.
But,
Appreciate it.
Some things. When I was a kid and my grandparents were raising chickens, they had breeds that were not as heavy as some of the breeds that they're breeding now. The heavier breeds couldn't jump a 2 foot fence. There's no way they could do it. They're just too heavy. For the other breeds, you can clip the wings on one side. You don't have to clip. Just tell people, residents, whatever, if they clip one wing on one side, don't cut into the bone, just the feathers on one side. It makes them go in a circle. Like they can't get the same amount of lift on both sides, and that'll keep them in. So I just wanted to say that you guys maybe could pass that on, and nobody would be angry with anybody else, but it would take care of
Just
it.
saying, I'm not blaming her chickens at this point, because I'm gonna make sure that it's not a bird, okay? Then if there, because no birds can get under there, I
It
don't
would
know.
have to be a really big bird to leave that kind of a mess like.
That's why I got the chickens hopped upon. the
Yeah.
vehicle.
Anyway, I just wanted to, you guys could pass that out maybe or whatever.
Thank you.
In addition to doing the carport, she wanted to get her truck painted. She goes, I can't paint my truck now. That's all we keep doing now. I can't paint my truck.
So where were we at?
We're on discussion on the first reading of.
Chickens, sorry, I just wanted to know if that included agriculture, like, chickens flying around. where it would be.
It would be a down.
Chickens are separate. That you can get chickens in any zoning with a permit.
I don't care that she has them, I just don't want them crossing the street.
Right?
Cross the street, but don't bother me.
And I completely sympathize and agree with the problem, but we all need to keep in mind that there could be a time toward the end of this year when we would all be loving our neighbors who at least had the protein from chicken eggs. And they might still be in, we might still be friendly with each other.
No,
I could
like I
eat
said,
egg just.
I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt right now until I get everything taken care of. Then I will go over and I will speak to her.
I'm just
If it's still
saying,
continuing.
there could be a time when things get so economically unfeasible that we would all decide, I wish I were friends with my neighbor. Oh, down there.
Chief, did you have any more on ordinance? 19 -4-001 districts?
First reading.
Huh?
First reading.
First reading.
I move we approve ordinance 2026-19-4-001 districts established.
Second.
First reading.
Been moved by Councilman Sadler, second by Councilman Whitener, that we approve ordinance 2026-19-4-001 districts established. Any further discussion?
Are we supposed to have a public hearing on ordinances or only on the third reading?
Third reading.
As long as there's a public hearing on the third reading, then we're legal.
Yep.
Okay. On the record. Perfect.
Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye, pose the same. Motion passed, all the affirmative. B, ordinance 2026-19-9-001.
Ordinance 2026-19-9-001. An ordinance amending code number 19-9 of the Shoshoni Town Codes. The governing body of the town of Shoshoni hereby amends the Shoshoni Town Code 19-9. Its content is deleted in its entirety and replaced as follows. Developing standards generally, defining the specifications for buildings within each district as defined, as well as penalties and generally, et cetera, for 12 pages.
Make a motion to approve 19-9-001.
I'll second it.
Been moved by Councilman Whitener, second by Councilman Hartke, that we approve ordinance 2026-19-9-001 generality. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye, pose the same, motion passed, all in the affirmative. C, ordinance 2026-19-10-001. Do you, Mike, I'll ask the question, do we want to do these individually or do we want to yeah, we got to do these individually, I think.
If you just reference the C, D, E, F, I'll take care of it from there. We'll just speed through this. How's that?
Okay, that's where I was.
Okay.
Again,
Ordinance 2026-19-10-001. An ordinance amending code number 19-10 of Shoshoni Town Codes. The governing body of the town of Shoshoni hereby amends the Shoshoni Town Code 19-10. Its content is deleted in its entirety and replaced as follows. This is use is permitted broadly in District R1.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 2026-19-10-001.
I'll
Use
second it.
permitted in R1.
I'll second it.
Ordinance 26-19-10-001. Use permitted R1, moved by Councilman Whitener, second by Councilwoman Hartke. Any further discussion?
None being, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion passed, all affirmative. C,
Ordinance 2026-19-11-001, an ordinance amending code number 19-11 of the Shoshone Town Codes. The governing body of the town of Shoshone hereby amends the Shoshone Town Code 19-11. Its content is deleted in its entirety and replaced as follows. Uses permitted in R2 district.
have a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
Moved by Councilman Hartke. Can I have a second?
Second.
And second by Councilman Nordine. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion passed, all in the affirmative. D,
Ordinance 2026-19-12-001, an ordinance amending code number 19-12 of the Shoshone Town Codes. The governing body of the town of Shoshone hereby amends the Shoshone Town Code 19-12. Its content is deleted in its entirety and replaced as follows. Uses permitted in R3 district.
Make a motion to approve 19-12-001.
Second.
been moved by Councilman Whitener, second by Councilman Nordine. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed, the same, motion passed. F,
Ordinance 2026-19-13-001, an ordinance amending code number 19-13 of the Shoshone Town Codes. The governing body of the town of Shoshone hereby amends the Shoshone Town Code 19-13. Its content is deleted in its entirety and replaced as follows. Uses permitted in R4 district.
Make a motion to approve 19-9-13.
Second it.
been moved by Councilman Whitener, second by Councilwoman Hartke. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same. Motion passed, permitted R4 districts. G,
Ordinance 2026-19-14-001, an ordinance amending code number 19-14 of the Shoshone Town Codes. The governing body of the town of Shoshone hereby amends the Shoshone Town Code 19-14. Its content is deleted in its entirety and replaced as follows. Uses permitted in RA district.
Make a motion to approve 19-9-14.
been motion by Councilman Whitener. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Hartke. Ordinance 19-4-001, RA district. Further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed, the same, motion passed, all in the affirmative. H,
Ordinance 2026-19-15-001, an ordinance amending code number 19-15 of the Shoshone Town Codes. The governing body of the town of Shoshone hereby amends the Shoshone Town Code 19-15. Its content is deleted in its entirety and replaced as follows. Uses permitted in C1 district.
I make a motion to amend 19-15. Damn it. Never mind. I withdraw my motion. That needed to be done on a previous one. I just noticed,
Where it says R1, R2?
it should be done on 19-10.
Yeah, I already saw it.
we can address it in our second reading.
So I do make a motion to approve 19-15.
F001, C1 district,
Yes.
second,
I'll second it.
second by Councilman Hartke. Discussion. None being, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, the same, motion passed, all in the affirmative, C1 district. I,
Ordinance 2026-19-16-001, an ordinance amending code number 19-16 of the Shoshone Town Codes. The governing body of the town of Shoshone hereby amends the Shoshone Town Code 19-16. Its content is deleted in its entirety and replaced as follows. Uses permitted in M1 district.
a motion to approve.
So moved.
We move by Councilman Stedler. Can I have a
I'll second
second?
it.
Second by Councilman Hartke. Ordinance 1916-001, M1 district. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed the same, motion passed in the affirmative. Do we have any more appearances by citizens, public presentations, anybody online? I don't see no volunteers. Anyway, department head, Public Works. We have a representative here. Police Department.
Split here.
Guess the Public Works, we did have a discussion about a water tank and
Yeah.
everything that was going on.
Guess we'll call that their report, huh?
Yeah.
I'll be brief. So the month of April, we had 3 arrests in Shoshoni, as well as a controlled substance arrest for methamphetamine. I passed out the calls for service that we responded to. Our calls are down compared to 2025 and 2024 and 2023 slightly. They're pretty much in line with this time of year everywhere else, but 2024 was kind of an outlier where we had a large jump in calls. A lot of a self-initiated activity, which is represented by things like the methamphetamine and warrant arrests and service of search warrants in town. Those do continue. We're getting into summer, so we are starting to look for code violations. Haven't had any as of yet, but there is a curfew 10 p.m. for under the age of 18 during the week, and on the weekends they have till 11 o'clock. We generally kind of move them along when we see them out, but if it becomes an issue where it's too late or it's a repeat offender, then we will issue citations, and nothing good happens when you're 15 at midnight walking around town. I mean, unless you're going back from fast lane working or something like that, obviously those are exceptions for those. And school is getting out, so we expect to have a lot more activity in May, and I'll keep you apprised on that one.
Oh, boy.
So, we probably saw in the paper, we did enter into an agreement with Homeland Security and ICE in the 287G program or 283G program. That's as much of a statement that I can make publicly without their permission, so. But I can give you, we didn't answer any questions behind after the meeting if you have any questions on that, but it what it is and what it isn't. How's that? And hopefully I'll have a better release at a different time once I have approval. Any questions?
Yeah, publicly, there's some things I think that's been out in the public that they've released or not.
Oh, Cowboy State Daily did.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Like day after we signed it.
Questions for the chief?
What's the noise like starting? I'm not gonna mow lawn because I'm not gonna have one, but like lawn mowers in the morning and then probably at night gonna be revving their engine. I've got some guy who across the street that, like, so I don't know if he's working on an engine, if it's a car that he's getting in and revving. And it was like after, it was almost 8:30 one night.
So what I'll say,
Okay, it's okay,
where the-
but I'm thinking.
where the
hey,
famous jelly
he
was
just like rev the
manufactured.
motor for what? When he does it all day long, I don't understand. And then it's in the middle, after 8 o'clock, I think you should shut it off.
And I understand that. What I'll say, I'm gonna pull up the ordinance for you so you can see it here. So broadly, I'll say that there's no time constraint on any of that. It's handled generally under nuisances. And it is,
Every night.
and
you know, what's late to you might not be late to somebody else. So we don't have a time constraint, but, for example, a dog barking, people complain about dogs barking at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's annoying, it's frustrating, but that's what dogs
It's a
do.
dog, right, right.
But now when a dog is barking at itself in a mirror for 3 hours straight with no other stimulus around, then it's a nuisance. If that makes, I know it's maybe a broad description of the difference between the two.
Motor. I want to go out and see, is he actually working on something? He also stand that he works on motors, is he just having fun just revving the motor? I don't understand why he's.
The resident she's talking about, Chris, is the one where the famous jelly.
Yeah,
from.
I know.
It's okay, but I'm just thinking, hey, how late is late? And I'm thinking, damn.
And so.
It's been going on all day.
And so what I'll say is if it becomes to the point where it's not stopping, and that's where I was getting to.
Yeah.
If it's something that's continuous and not abating at any
Well,
point,
I
it still
get
can,
along with neighbors and I don't complain, but I'm just thinking, damn.
it still can be
What's
a
the-
nuisance
what's the-
at any hour of the day, just depending on what it is. Because you have night workers that sleep at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and undue noise that is continuous in nature and of that.
Yeah,
So
it's
it
just
doesn't matter.
curious.
So yeah, that
But
is,
if I'm not in my room, I probably wouldn't hear it. If I was on the other end of the house, I wouldn't hear it. But if I was sleeping, that would be a nuisance. And I'm just thinking, damn, doesn't that guy ever quit? I don't know.
and
It's just been the last few days, but like I said, I guess it's not a big deal. And I just was curious if there was a.
so there's not one that has like a specific time frame into it. It's just a very general description. And I'm gonna pull it up for you here, but to answer your question, yes, it is it can be considered that if it's that obnoxious, that loud and that abrasive, then yes, it can be.
So if it lasts for 3 hours, that's.
Or even 30 minutes. It's just extraordinarily loud.
And that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
So there's lots of factors that, you know, go into that confines beyond just noise. So if it's that disrupting to your behavior, then that would fit the description. And that's
Trying to
something.
get along with my neighbors. I don't complain, but I'm just saying, I just wanted to know what the issue was. I would go over and say something to them. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem confronting the neighbor if they're bothering me. Like I said, the lady with the chickens, I'm not complaining to her until I fix the problem. Okay, what I think the problem is, and then if it continues, then I'm gonna have a problem with it. But right now, I don't have any issues with her. She's a nice lady. She really is, you know, but. So I'm blaming it on birds right now. Okay, so I'm getting it fixed. My next question is, do I need this carport is to finish off the inside? Do I have to have a permit?
Another permit for it.
It's already been built.
If
It's
you're
an
just,
existing structure, but I'm just having it finished on the inside.
no, then
Okay.
you're fine there.
Interior remodeling does not require a permit.
Okay.
Is that what that's what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Right, right. Okay.
That's what I thought.
So
Okay,
up there is that what I was telling you.
So while she's reading that, I have a question. Our cousin died before we could finish our fence. And we do have a building permit. And I think about a year ago, I had asked, we were thinking about doing that, but then we had other projects in the house that we did put in the windows and doors and stuff. But do we need to get another new permit to finish that fence off? We have the posts all the way around.
As long as it's not gonna change from your original, plan,
No.
Then you're-
Won't change
then you're
from the
fine.
original, no.
then you're
We
fine.
just haven't had anybody who could find that we could
Nope, you're good.
trust to finish it the way you want it.
Just make sure they have a building, business license. If they're gonna be
We'll get a license if we have, like, we're gonna put a,
if you have a contractor, make sure they get a business license, is what I'm saying.
Oh, local.
so that he can do it.
Yep.
Okay.
As long as it stays within the confines of your original plan.
Yeah, well.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
Could you read that? I can see with my, I got a winky eye. Can't read.
Can you take a picture of it with your phone? That's why I take pictures of a lot of things, that way I can get them where I can read them. Oh, okay.
I can print you a copy at another time if you want to read it.
They're on the-
Or it just as
I
any
was
person,
just curious, like I said, I'll just ignore it, but there might be other people that have issues. I just think this is very strange. And then it continues so long and so late. Well, I guess it's not late. 8:30 is not late. It's still light outside now.
Some of us, that's late.
and so if it's going on that long, just you certainly can call anonymously and we can drive by, and if we hear it, we can do.
It won't be
what we
anonymous,
Okay.
we'll identify ourselves.
No, I don't have to talk in front of the neighbor because I don't think that's right to stick somebody on when you can just say, hey, I really would appreciate blah, blah. I mean, you know, because I don't want to make enemies. I mean.
Yeah, if that doesn't
I
work,
might
we can
talk
go to
to
the
her.
next step.
And I
So
will talk to the lady across the street. Please don't say anything to her because I'm okay. Like I said, I'm gonna fix the problem and if that didn't fix it, then I will talk to her.
It's on
Say,
YouTube
"Hey,
now.
Throw your chickens.
It's on YouTube now. The meeting's on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, so that's good. She knows. She already knows, but that's okay, because she is a nice lady.
Any, so are we ready to move on down to business license?
Make a motion to approve the business license to Wind River Flywheelers.
I'll second it.
Been moved by Councilman Whitener, second by Councilman Harkey to approve the business license for Windsor Flywheelers. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, the same, motion passed by the affirmative. Unfinished business, town cleanup. Do we have any thoughts on that? Anything new?
Last we knew, there was next to no budget for that.
That's where we're at,
Well,
my
it wouldn't-
understanding.
it would come out in July.
So it'd have to be a early fall cleanup if
No,
we did it.
we can do it right now. The bill wouldn't come due till July, is what I'm saying.
Is that something we want to do based off what it cost to do it last year?
I think it's needed.
It's bad on Third Street.
What's on, what are we're not gonna pick up tires.
Not
Not talking
tires.
tire, I'm talking shrubbery. Random stuff that,
Can you burn now or no? No. No burning.
No, this is furniture and
just all sorts of stuff. If you,
No, I
in the
understand
alleys,
what
there's
you're
stuff,
saying.
cabinetry, just wood, broken, wood stuff, just garbage that
Do
we don't have a
wanna-
dump here to take
we-
it to.
Do we want to put together what's accepted and allowed to be brought?
We do it every year.
I mean, it seems like there's some people that save their crap all year long to get the town to foot the bill.
Last year, I mean, our bill was
It's like,
I know,
What'd you
was
say,
it last year, or the year
7,000?
before, we had to,
Wasn't it 4,900?
That was
I
like,
think
right,
you said that was the year before. I think last year you said it went up $1,600. It was almost $7,000.
around
I thought it
6,000
was
something.
2,000, then it got doubled to like almost 5,000.
Yeah,
That's what I. heard.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because it was two in the, I think 49.
Yeah.
But we also have a wood chipper this year, so
Yeah.
we can chip the branches and stuff. We have a lot of that just around town,
What are you gonna do with chips?
sell them. You give us the wood, we'll chip it for you, we'll sell it back to you.
Yeah, that's.
That's government right there.
Like this on my.
How about we let you have the branches and you keep the chips and sell them to whoever you.
Are they gonna be down where we used to collect the branches and stuff at the end of town?
Well, if we do the town cleanup, it'll be at the town
Yard.
yard.
I think having a spot like down there for branches and stuff is asking for it.
Yeah,
Oh,
we used to be able to
Holiday
do
dumps and all
that and that got EPA or DEQ shut us
We
down,
don't
so.
charge the city dump to dump the branches anyway. I haul my own. I don't expect the city to do that.
Right, well, that goes along with what I was saying. There seems like some people just save their crap up all year long to make the city pay for it.
You know, city dump in Riverton accepts branches. I think there's just probably.
Well, we do it, the town owns a chipper. We own our own chipper.
yeah.
And it, with taxpayer dollars to save taxpayers a pain in the butt. But I think we,
I'm okay with the branches, but I think I'll have to kind of ride Jake here. Like it's your own due diligence to clean up your own junk.
Yeah.
It's not our, it's one thing when we're helping out somebody that's 68 or 75 years old, haul off an old fridge that
Right.
they can't move out.
Right.
But I think it's based off of the properties I drive by, it's not that case.
what's been going on here lately isn't what it used to be. It's just some people are just
I don't
ruining
think the
it.
town
for
cleanup thing, I think we can open up a time slot for branches and trees that are in shrubs. and
Whatever it
things.
looks like, we need to have some kind of form or fashion for some kind of a cleanup. Now, if we don't want to accept people's front yard couches and
Yeah.
front door refrigerators,
Furniture.
that's fine. We have another mechanism that will handle that, and that's gonna be through law enforcement, so
I think,
But we need some kind of something.
if we have some 80-year-old man or woman or said whatever, call and they have this old fridge and I'd sure like to get it out of here. I think we can make necessary means to accommodate
Usually
that.
Mike Demick will take those for them.
I think that
You'll
situation
get
we
'em.
can accommodate. I think this taking your
6 months.
old
worth of garbage.
bicycle and your garbage and everything else, I don't think is something we need to entertain.
Each individual should take care of their own. We've been doing that the last month. We've been cleaning our place out and not that big of a deal to take care of it yourself.
Trees and branches, you know.
Right.
So what, I mean, my point is that we need to have a town cleanup of something, but now what it's limited to is fine. But we need to at least open it up to some form of. Cause we don't have,
It'd have been nice if we had somebody here to kind of coordinate when they thought that would be a good time slot.
yeah,
Well, did we say that church is willing to come?
and
forward?
Wind River Church is looking for people that need projects that give us a name. And they are willing to come help do like yard projects, things that you can't do, pull weeds, just whatever minor things like that, that they're willing to help. They want to come by and they have a crew that's trying to help clean up people's yards as well.
I think we need to put guardrails on it, so don't turn to $5,000 again.
that the old Presbyterian church?
It's
The
Wind-
one with the bell.
Yeah, sure, that's the,
And if we are doing any trash hauling, put a cap
they
on it.
posted at the post.
No, I don't
office.
disagree. I'm just saying.
When it's reached, sorry about your luck.
But we just need to have something that we can do. Whatever that limitations is fine, but we need to like,
They have some people coming or something.
what makes sense within reason. I mean, I agree that just saving people the money from, because they don't want to spend the dump fee, and so they're just gonna make us pay it. It's not, that's not,
Thing that's a pain is the solid waste is open one Saturday a month and you're allowed one load family.
Where's that?
Transfer station.
Oh, but not converted.
No, the one here in Shoshone, it's open one day, one Saturday a month.
Still.
I didn't know it was open, yeah.
It's first Saturday and some other Friday.
or I mean, here's an idea.
Schedule it to that Saturday.
Oh.
Here's just a thought.
I-
Well, no, here's the thought. If we talked with whoever's gonna dispose of it for other items, like certain items we'll set for free and we'll take care of it, you know, that stuff. If we have other items, we talk to Upper Metals, for example, say, what does it cost to dispose of this? And then if you want to bring it here and we charge you,
There you go.
and then they're paying for it, but that way, if they have a central place they can bring it to, we're not paying it, they are.
Perfect.
But
That's
it
a
would
thought.
make it real handy for them to do it and it'd make it easier on the company.
That's what I'm trying to say. So it's not the town, the taxpayer's not paying for it, right? It's they're paying for it. But it's a summer, they can't get it all the way to, if they don't have the means to get it all the way to sand draw, to dump it. They can drop it here and then, but they're gonna pay whatever it costs to do that, and then
You know what?
that makes sense to me.
On the way to-
That's a thought.
There's one. Like fine, and everything, and they'll take all kinds of things, refrigerators, appliances, yeah, they'll take all kinds of stuff, and it's not considered part of the dump, it's part of the recycling.
Yeah, that's my point though. Some people don't have a truck or any means to get it there, but they can get it here. But if they're willing to pay for it to be disposed of and just drop it here, and then we coordinate to come pick it up.
I like Saturday, we just let them.
Oh,
pull up to the
well, that
dump.
would be too, yeah.
We'll pick up your one
So you
load
drop
of
refrigerators
junk
or
bill.
Whatever. And
You
not
present us a
necessarily
current water bill,
to leave it.
take care of that little.
I'm just trying to figure out a way to help make this town look a little bit cleaner, not have dumps in people's yards. And if we remove the barriers for them to get rid of, there's no excuses for them to do it. I really don't want law enforcement going in and removing it for them and sending them a bill and taking possession of the property, because that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
So whatever we figure out, we need to have some mechanism, whatever it looks like, to be able to address this.
So you have an area set aside where they could drop stuff off,
The town
a
yard,
central, okay.
it's Shoshone, so everything's pretty close.
Thanks scrap metal to take it out.
Mhm.
And I was wondering if he would put a roll off in town.
That's what I'm saying, is if we coordinate with him and
But
see
if
what it would
you
cost, we
don't
could.
monitor that roll off
They'll
or
put it-
scrap metal, it's gonna be full of garbage and
Yeah,
dog crap.
garbage and
Yes.
trash.
Which is what we did in the past, is that we closed it and we only allowed them to come in when it was being monitored
Mhm.
I wonder
on
if
Saturdays, if you
we
remember.
negotiated with Hopper or got an idea if they'd be willing to, and like you said, okay, you're bringing that's $12 to
Yeah,
the town.
see if we can work something out where we're not using taxpayer money, but it'll give somebody a central
But
depository
it
here in
helps
town
everybody, yeah.
that helps people be able to get rid of their waste, and it's not costing the town.
I
And it's
have,
just a coordinated effort.
I have one question. I'm thinking of, I'm sorry, you said refrigerators and now my mind can't get off that track. But heavy items like that? What if we did like a once a month drive through the neighborhood? If they called and said, we would like to get rid of this heavy object that we can't move, then pick it up there, because what I'm hearing is, if you bring it to our drop station, then we'll dispose of it for you, but what if they can't get it to the drop station? Could we set something up where?
Well, and that's, I think what we've done in the past, I think what Jordan was talking about is that in the case where you have an elderly person that can't physically do something, the town they can call in those specific situations, hey, and we can come assist doing that. The reason I'm gonna say no, broadly speaking, is because of personal liability and injury. Because I will be damned if anybody in this town is gonna get hurt picking up a refrigerator for somebody else that's too lazy to do it themselves. Not someone that's older or incapable. Not you. I'm not looking at you, just happen to be here.
I'm just saying, no, but that's. No,
But
we're
you
at
get
the
what I'm
age
saying.
we're 60 Years old, so we're at the age we need assistance, but we
Yes.
don't mind helping. you.
Exactly.
You know?
But if people take advantage of that, that's like you, my age, you're like, oh, well, tell come do it. And then we get hurt doing it for someone that's able bodied. That ain't gonna happen.
You guys have 4 old ladies in your.
Or young
in your
ladies.
Audience who are saying, we will pick up light stuff, we will volunteer to help with that. We're gonna get the tumbleweeds out as soon as they stop migrating to our house.
So I guess the broader point is that I would say if we could table this, let me do some work on coming up with something like that. That's a collaborative effort with what we have and maybe presenting something formally next meeting.
I'm all for that.
I'm for that, and I think that allows our maintenance side to kind of pencil in what it would fit
Yeah.
into their busy water situation.
It is a huge pain to try to get bigger items disposed of when you, especially if you work.
But if we can do something in tandem with another, where it's not costing,
Or
yeah,
if it was easy, you gotta pay for it, but it's easy.
exactly.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
That's genius ideas.
So just give me the next meeting. I'll come up with a plan to present. How's that?
Sounds like a plan.
8 o'clock in the morning. Without-
You're asking a lot there.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about it next meeting.
Yes, sir.
Airport lease. What do we have, Jordan?
I did put everything together. I did email that to Marshall on Wednesday after the last council meeting. Our attorney does have that. We should be drafting something up.
It's here.
There you go.
It's in your packet. It's page 46 of your massive packet.
There you go. Page 46.
Number 6, the structure, the 22, the 1225, that was kind of a recommendations from the other airports, correct?
Yeah, that was the no less than a 32-foot wide by whatever it was for the wing lengths to fit.
Right, okay.
So these are gonna start in June.
Yes.
Yeah, bring it up.
Do we wanna take a while, but do we possibly wanna read through some of this? I don't know exactly what he has and hasn't.
You can always table it till next meeting, give
Table it,
everyone
yeah.
a chance to read it more thoroughly.
Okay,
I'll second it when you make that motion.
I mean, I'm not one for tabling things, but in lieu of time and sitting in for an hour and a half doing this versus your own time preparing in the next 2 weeks and then makes more sense to me.
Are you ready to go home?
Yeah.
Yes.
Too damn bad.
Been a long day, okay?
can I have a motion to table the airport lease?
I'll make the motion.
Moved by Councilman Hartke, can I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Nordine. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, the same, motion passed, all affirmative. Table the airport lease till next meeting. Old Town Hall.
Nope, it's senior housing. Unfinished business.
Unfinished business, senior housing.
Page 55 of your packet.
Marshall put together a contract residential lease agreement for senior housing. It's an updated contract that addresses a lot of things. It would, I'll just highlight several things, would lower the minimum age to 40 years of age. Pardon?
We agreed March 27th, we weren't doing that. That it's senior housing. And I have talked to some of those people there and they don't want any kids in there.
Well, there would be no kids. I talked to some people also in there. And this would be 40 age, no one younger than 40, no
No.
children would be allowed.
Then it's not seizure housing.
We would have, there'd be very, stringent noise restrictions. Currently, we have 3 vacancies. We've had
You have two.
vacancies.
We have
Huh?
two.
You have 2.
Did we rent another one today?
And we've literally advertised in those, we haven't advertised in how long? When's the last time we advertised?
We were in the old town hall.
We just got the,
Not till now.
Yeah.
I'm talking about at
Right.
the old
The
town
old
hall.
town.
So that was
Couple
3
years
years ago, pushing 3 years ago. And we've advertised and within a week, we filled 2 of them. I don't think this is necessary to lower the age to 40.
No,
Defeats the purpose of senior housing.
If-
I'm 33 years old. That means in 7 years, I get to move into senior housing.
Well, it has sideboards on it where.
Why am I not fitted?
Huh?
You're stereotyping me?
Well, would be no kids, there would be no kids allowed,
My
I'd
kids
say,
will be out in 7.
but there would be, if it'd be eligible, it also has income restraints.
yeah,
I'm
but
gonna
at
quit my
40
job
years
at 7.
old, you should be paying 1,000.
Huh?
At
At 40 years old, if you're not
income.
$650 a month
Yeah,
on
no.
your rent,
It's income restricted to what HUD considers low income.
so then it's not, then we're making this low income, and this is allowing the town to get into this. What in the hell does the town want to be? We already got too much property. This is already a pain in the ass.
So
when
then
it
maybe
comes-
we should sell it.
Okay,
Maybe we should sell it,
maybe we should,
but we shouldn't.
but we damn sure shouldn't let 40-year-olds move in there.
I know the seniors I talked to that lived there was just fine with it, long as you had responsible
Too young.
people. I
Told
know.
me no.
There's
When
plenty
I,
of
when I was
people I
40,
know.
I was grown up, weren't you? Well, you're not 40 yet, but I was,
What is it officially, may I ask?
55.
55?
And it's senior housing, that's what it's
Yeah.
considered, senior housing.
Laramie, it's 50.
Uh,
I think Laramie is 50, but 55 is young enough, I think.
So moving in from the outside, you know, from Riverton to here. And finding out that we had senior housing here. Frankly, I think it's a really kind of a feather in the cap of the town of Shoshoni. You know, as senior housing, and I like that, so keeping it senior housing. I think it makes us look good as a town.
Yeah.
I had a guy call me today that actually it's Susan Archer's brother. And he lives in Montana, in Bozeman, and he said that he has visited her a few times and how nice they are. And how nice it is that Shoshone has that kind of facility and wishes that they would do something like that in Bozeman.
All communities should have a senior housing.
Yeah.
But if you change it to 40, that's just too young. Like, you're not a senior.
So I'm good with the 55.
Yeah, me too.
55 is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if they go vacant.
Yeah.
That's what we just went through, so.
But I
Yeah.
know.
And we just got two rivets,
Okay.
so.
But one time you could advertise.
They also, if we're gonna air this damn thing out, let's air it out, because I'm over this sugarcoating this crap. They're vacant because we've moved people up on the list that shouldn't have been moved up, and people that were on the list lost their spot.
Oh, wow.
I don't know who the hell you're talking to.
Well, you know.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Well, and I just think we should keep the rent at what it is and not this first month's, last month's, and I mean, the rent and the deposit, that's fair.
Yeah.
And not making them pay utilities, are you kidding me? You're gonna make it where they can't afford to stay there.
The idea of the senior housing is not for the town to be profitable on the senior housing. That's not what the metric.
No, but
We
we're-
are-
The metric
to
is for
seniors.
it to maintain itself.
that is what we're trying to do. But that's fine.
One ad in the newspaper in
We-
Riverton that says that you have them available, they'll be gone like that.
Yeah,
And
we-
we've already, that's what we did, and we've already filled 2 within, what, a week? 7 days?
Well, it was run, I just got the bill. Last month. So. Between the two renting out, it was like last week, this week. Like.
But I didn't
Friday,
know the one rented
Tuesday.
today.
But those,
It came out of the blue.
let's also be mindful that those, how many have been vacant? Because I remember January or February when an individual had passed away, that being noted that was the 4th one now that we had vacant. And we are just now running this ad. So my point of this is we've had 4 vacant
Since March.
Well,
since March, and we're just now running again. And we've had 2 filled.
the 4th vacant just became vacant May 1st. Correct.
Yeah,
Well, even then, we've had
But
3
anyway,
vacant since
sure.
March.
Yeah.
And the 40 years and trying to change
Okay.
all this is,
Oh, well, let's see how it works. There's also another change. We should not allow any smoking in those houses.
But who's making the decision on changing all this? Because it's the council,
That's what we're doing right now.
but you're getting all hurt on this, cause
No,
We don't
no,
wanna change it.
no, that's fine. That's what this discussion was
I mean,
for.
cause we're not gonna make them pay utilities. Come on, these people are living on a fixed income.
Well, we are furnishing $200 and some in utilities and have been doing that for a while.
But your lease says that they'll pay utilities. And first and last month rent and a deposit.
It should be $200 and some as always. There's none of that has changed.
Rent for the first month of the term, rent for the last month of the term.
But you need a deposit.
Yeah, that is evident.
You need it,
Yeah,
need
a
it, need it.
deposit in the first month's rent.
And that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah. Well, as a landlord, you can, anyway.
Well, I don't think.
But
the
if we were,
problem's
but if
changed.
we were gonna rent to non-seniors,
We're not.
We're not.
okay, that's what this was addressing. This was addressing non-seniors.
So a question, so
Yes.
you have a limit on your income, and if it's more than that, then you charge them more money? Like say it's $650.
No, $650 is the max.
No matter what, oh, okay.
That's
But you're not gonna let somebody in there that's making $80,000 a year move into senior housing?
no, their limit, it would follow HUD's, it would have followed HUD's guideline as low income. That way you wouldn't have an oil field worker making $80,000 or $100,000 a year.
Right.
But
in
that's
there.
at the age of 40.
But
With
you
the
might have
senior
someone-
housing, there is the same structure applied. You can't be at 55 and have a Lamborghini that you're pulling up and living in
Right.
senior
And
housing.
$100,000 in your.
Yeah, but that addressed that, because it'd be income limited. It would provide housing if we had vacant housing, say someone that worked at Fast Lane that met the criteria for workforce housing. That's what it would have done. But that's fine. But, you know, in our current lease, we don't limit smoking and smoking is expensive to clean up after.
I thought that anything that was public, and this is public housing, public meaning governmental, I thought like 30 years ago, they banned it in public buildings. So I would seem that it should have been 30 years ago, no smoking in those apartments,
HUD housing it always was, but people still smoked in them.
but they still smoke in them.
Right?
I was thinking that that's what I would think in the house. No, you were, yeah.
Well, we get it out, it's just very expensive, very time consuming. You have to strip it all down, kills it, and then repaint it.
And they still smoke. They turn the oxygen off and let's turn it back on again. I've seen it in real life, my aunt. Oh, yeah. She'd walk by the smoke and then come back in the house.
Had a mother-in-law do the same thing.
What is the current lease?
Well, I was just gonna say, I think the best thing is to table it. I will give you the current lease so that you can compare. You can take the time to look at the current lease, look at this. And really have it.
Well, I don't even appreciate your suggestion, but I think I'm gonna cast a vote on this. There's too much in this one that is nothing to be really pulled for. The only thing that stands out to me is maybe consider the non-smoking piece to be put into the new lease.
It's actually in the lease, it's an addendum.
There we go. So then this really serves no purpose.
Right.
Okay, second. Pets, do we address pets in our current
They have
lease?
pets in there.
The current lease doesn't address the pets.
But pet.
Medical necessary.
Pet should be addressed. There should be an addendum for pets. Yeah. They should list. I owned rentals for over 20 years.
And the town's not trying to become a landlord.
But if they had a pet, I had the name of the pet, the veterinarian of the pet was listed.
Pet should be into somebody at a certain weight, so like a small animal. You don't want a
Yes.
huge dog.
Sure, and-
120 pound dog.
Or chicken.
And there was a deposit required for pets. Cause if you have a pet in there, there again costs more to clean up. But you have the pet's name, the pet's vet, if there's something wrong, if someone's gone, I mean. That's sort of a, a pet clause. And I don't think that's
A
unreasonable.
pet cleaning deposit is pretty standard. Okay, I'm not.
We don't have one though.
I can't argue with that, but this.
Oh,
it's-
this is fine. We've already decided we're not gonna do 40. So now I'm just bringing some things that was brought up in this.
But a pet deposit? Collectively, I think is fair. I mean, that's fair.
In addition to the regular cleaning, there should be a separate one.
Because, because it costs more money to clean a house that's had a pet in it.
Well, we already have the forms for pets have to be like medically necessary. Like Terry Boyd had it for whatever reason, medically, anxiety.
The current lease is based on HUD. It's a HUD
Yeah,
boilerplate lease that we inherited, that we've maintained since we've gone away from HUD. We're no longer affiliated with HUD. But that one it's meant to be modified through addendums. So you, as the boilerplate legalese. but- And then you do the addendums, and that's where a lot of those came in as addendums. And then with a lot of it says, with the administrator's permission, you can basically get an exception for certain things, whatever. And that's how it's been when we inherited it from the previous. A lot of the tenants were there before I was ever here. Maybe some of them are obviously no longer with us, but at the time, like Terry Boyd, he was here before, all these people were here.
He was here, from the first year.
Yeah, so.
He was here for the.
So my point being is that now we're under HUD, the current lease versus this lease, there's similarities, there's additional things, and whatever you decide needs to be added, that's not currently in that, needs to be added. Whatever that looks like, whether that's pets, as an addendum or in the actual lease itself. Whatever, but the lease that we have currently it needs to be it needs to be updated. It does, and maybe looking at that and through its entirety and you'll see what I'm talking about. There's some things that are just outdated. And we have a spot for deposits, but when I first took over, nobody was paying deposits. I'm not the administrator anymore, she is, and she takes deposits. So they have to put a deposit because of the issues we've had with cleaning them up.
Yeah, we've just started taking a deposit now,
Yes.
last two renters.
So that is in the current lease, we just weren't enforcing it.
So what do? We've talked about different things we want to change in this one. So it needs to be updated. There's some changes that need to be done. Can you do those changes and bring it back next time?
I need to have guidance though. That's the thing.
I thought-
I can make that my own thing, but then we're gonna be
I
right
thought
back
we had
here
talked
where,
about guidance, not 40.
Where there's a pet deposit and a no smoking deal and.
I think we probably need to sit down. Honestly, and this is gonna have to be combed over a little bit. Also, I would like to know the financial breakdown. Is $650 with utilities covering that unit? Or are we?
that's how it currently is, yeah. So, yeah,
Well, what I'm trying to say, I guess, is. Does that $650,
is it
with-
paying for itself?
is it paying for itself? Or is
Yes.
it sliding itself into the red?
no, so when I first took over, when I was the administrator, the rent was $225 a month, including utilities. And one of the first things I did is come to council, said this is unsustainable. This was back in 2021. I said, this is not gonna
I
work.
remember I was at that.
And I
council.
caught a lot of flack for it, but I'm sorry, $225 a month does not even
Yeah.
cover the utilities, much less maintenance of the facility. But we had people that were in there that were fixed incomes, and so we capped it. The suggestion I made to council that was approved in 2024 was that we were gonna go to $650 a month for new tenants. And we're removing all that restriction at $650 a month. Current tenants inherited a scale system that was 30% of their gross income is what theirs was capped at with a minimum of, I think, 365. So you do have some tenants in there still under the old system that were grandfathered in that are paying $450 a month or what have you. But all the new tenants since then, or the ones that exceeded that cap, are paying $650. And $650 was deemed at the time to be sustainable for having money come back. But the problem is that there was no maintenance done on these for 20 years. So we're playing catch up. And that's where we're at.
So what, what
My
really,
my next question is I just know what my electric and gas bill have done in the last 2 years, so I just was inquiring
so-
on some of that.
And so we have a sliding scale with that we instituted as well is a allowance, a utility allowance that $650 covers utilities, but only so much. So if you exceed that usage, you're responsible for that difference. So say you have $210 of the allowance of utilities. Effectively, that means that $440 is actually being paid towards rent, $210 is being paid for utilities. But if you exceed that 210, then you're paying, say it's $280 that month for all your utilities. You're paying $70 of that utility bill.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So that's where we're currently at right now.
Well, that perfect. That metrics is understandable for me. I just was making sure this wasn't something that the town was constantly digging into.
Burying itself.
that's why we've been raising the rent.
Over exuberant amount.
Thank you.
And how this developed, we were following HUD's rules, but we were not taking any federal money. Because if we were signed up where we could have done that, the feds would have made up for the shorting.
That was my advice to the mayor. He didn't believe me. Then he found out the government headache and he said, yeah, this ain't gonna work.
No, they've done away with that program where we can't join.
Section 8.
That's okay.
But on 12 units, it was never gonna work. That's where we're gonna expand to be able to do section.
Another question. Just as HUD had guidelines, is there any senior housing guidelines, state or federal or something that you could start with and then kind of modify for us? It might give you a heads up on a few things that we haven't considered yet here, but it would be maybe a place to start.
Well, most towns have a housing authority that have properties that fall under that housing authority and they set their own rules. So they're different, Laramie, they're different, Riverton, they're different.
Oh, for
Cheyenne.
senior, so there's not a specific, okay, sorry.
So it's kind of left to the municipalities that have a housing, but usually it's under housing authority. In this case, it's under municipal, to set standards. So I mean, there's a wide variety that you can pull from. I guess it's a short answer to that. And section 8 is, it allows to charge $1,100 a month or $1,000 a month, as you know, and then the tenant would only pay 30%, and then the difference would be made up as a voucher from the federal government subsidizing that. I know the mayor looked into doing it, but they don't accept them anymore, but my contention was that the amount of rentals doesn't justify the amount of,
I could have done it.
sure you would not have.
Guarantee I
I
could.
promise you would.
Yeah, I took the class, got
Well, what
certified.
you're charging is a fair amount, and like I said, in utilities, I think it's great if you charge them that extra, because then they're more conservative. Because
That's why we do
They
that.
could raise those, just turn off that air, turn off that heat so high that you couldn't afford to.
$400 for gas.
We had one tenant that had the AC on 24/7 and the heater on 24/7. I'm not kidding, and his unit would be more, at the time, his utilities were more than the rent he was paying.
Right, yeah.
And that's
So
what
you can't do
led to
that.
instituting these things.
Right.
Yeah, you had a heat bill more than what I had at my house.
I like to pay the extra, it should.
But back to the topic, Jordan, whatever you got, however you want to approach this, we can get a resolution. I mean, there's some updating needs to be done. I don't.
Well, I personally think we ought to look at this new contract and remove what we need to remove out of it. It's a modern contract that our attorney drew up. We can remove the 40-year-old limit and we can place that with 55. This is a modern contract. We're not putting together an old one that we inherited from when we were required to follow federal guidelines. We're no longer required to follow federal guidelines on this. And we have that new contract. It's a pretty well written document by our town attorney. Somewhat different than the ones I use, but
So the council should sit down with Marshall and work out a new one.
I say we look at this and see what's wrong with it and fix
Almost
what's
most of
wrong.
it,
Huh?
most of it.
You feel, Councilman Dean, most of that's wrong, that contract, other than the
I haven't.
first and last payment, first and last month,
I'd like to go through it. I just haven't really had a
Right.
chance.
I think we should, that's what I think we should do.
We should put it against the two and look at both of them.
I believe that's what we should do.
Which is not adopting anything. I think.
Correct.
We need to compare. I mean,
No, exactly. I'm not saying adopt anything. I say let's look at
I
it.
mean, any of us could bring anything to the thing that
But we gotta,
Mark wants to maybe allow everybody to park a white car there, and if you have a blue one, you can't park out front.
I do like white cars.
but
I mean, we could
The
bring.
red one.
I mean,
but this is a good,
like,
this,
We're just kicking a dead horse here.
Let's go. Yeah.
yeah,
Let's move on from this point. We don't like this lease. Is there some stuff in this lease that could be utilized? Yes. Is there some stuff in the old lease that probably needs expunged? Yes. So there we have it. There's.
can I have a motion to look at this, address this issue at our next meeting.
I move that we table this until the next meeting.
I'll second it.
Been moved by Councilman Nordine, second by Councilman Harkey. We'll table this and look at it at the next meeting.
Okay.
Old Town Hall asbestos cleanup.
We gotta vote on that. All in
We gotta
favor?
vote.
Oh, okay. I thought we did. All in favor, say aye.
Any
Aye.
discussion?
A discussion. Any discussions?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion passed. Old Town Hall asbestos cleanup.
What's that?
Okay, we have an opportunity
You're
to
about to find
apply
out.
for Old Town Hall. DEQ has a fund available. We can apply and they'll clean the asbestos out of it for us.
Why do we?
We've already done our level one. that
Why
they
do we
did.
need to clean this asbestos
thought-
out of it?
Whenever, if we sell that or don't sell, it's got asbestos in it. We're gonna have to, if we'll end up, it'll increase the value of the property. If our Army cardiopulmonary project doesn't go through, we'll get rid of that asbestos.
Even if it does, yeah.
And if it does go through, we'd have to pay for it anyway. DEQ will remove the asbestos for us.
Well, do we have a deal with the cardiovascular?
We are still in the process of working that.
But we've had somebody come forward and already want to buy that building.
They've already backed out.
Yeah, because you told them it wasn't available.
No,
Yeah, you did, because I talked to him.
so they backed out of it. They already.
It says, originally approached the economical committee with this plan. And after the last meeting, I thought he was going to present a proposal. After the economical meeting we just had, I asked if we had a proposal and he was told no. I contacted him and he told me that after the meeting, you called him and told him you liked his idea, but the old town hall was not available as it was already taken for another project. Because of this, he has felt there's no point in presenting a proposal like we had told him to do after the last meeting. So
No,
you
that-
called
that-
him after the meeting.
I talked to him. Hey, he told me he's pursuing,
Because you told him the building wasn't available. I mean, I agree with you cardiovascular, but why
Well,
does it have to be on that corner?
It don't.
That should be a business there. That guy was bringing
well,
in an
you
office.
don't think, cardiopulmonary is not a business?
But it doesn't have to be on that corner.
We got other spots that
Yeah.
cardiopulmonary could.
That would have been a great spot for that guy with the 4x4s. He was gonna buy the liquor license. It was gonna make a big change in this town. It would have been great with your firearms. Your hunting, your range out there. That cardiovascular
No,
can go behind the motel
All
over
he
there.
was told, we are working on a deal and until that goes through,
But
that's
we've had
done.
that piece
We,
of
I
property
suggest,
tied up for almost 2 years now.
And nothing's moved forward on it.
yeah, we've been moving, we've been.
But
working
you
on
want us to pay to tear it down for them
No.
And get
Yes.
a loan.
and get a loan when
Okay,
these guys are willing to come in and buy the building right
Okay.
now.
okay, the BRC program could have netted the town of Shoshone near $2 million. Near $2 million
Yes.
over 20 years.
But look at all
In
the
20
state
years.
cuts that are going on everywhere and how. I can only speak for myself,
And
but how are we gonna ask, all these state cuts are happening
we,
everywhere. Every
we,
county, every school district, you name it, is enduring this. And then we're gonna say, hey, we need $10 million of funding. Cause they're only bringing like what, 1.5 to the
Oh,
table?
it's only 900,000 or something now.
they had $900,000.
So it's less than it was.
And the
And there
state's
was
gonna
$6 million
fill on
BRC.
9.1 million bucks. I just don't see the,
Well, the governor did.
Well,
Yeah.
Governor don't live
he's
here.
also not rerunning.
No,
And he's up in about
but,
6 months.
but in any event, I proposed an alternative.
There is
place.
no contract with that. So we should be talking to this guy and getting him back here to get some business going in town.
Well, he told me he couldn't have,
Because you told
Financially,
him that,
not even,
Because you
I didn't
told
want he
him-
told me.
you told him that he had to go build somewhere else. He wanted a building already built. And didn't you tell him it wasn't available?
Not at this time. We're still in
So you did
negotiation.
tell him that,
I sit here in this meeting and said.
but you
we
called him
are in
afterwards
negotiation.
too.
And then he didn't even present some. I mean, with what he presented, we didn't even get to evaluate it as a council and weigh our option.
Yeah.
We just ran somebody out of town without weighing our option. He could have presented something that was over the moon. Heck, he could have presented something that we looked at and said, man, this is a fly by the night situation and there's no merit here. This doesn't make any sense. But he also could have presented something that said, wow, let's act. But we didn't even get the opportunity.
When he showed up at the economical development with us, with John and all of us, he had some good ideas and it was step by step by step. When you wouldn't even let him come forward with it.
No, I told him he had a good idea. Well, we have other.
But
places
Joel,
where
that's
he could put it.
see, that's the thing. He needed a place that was already built. Not for you to send him somewhere else and get it built.
And he had an idea. Did he present anything else? Did he say how much he wanted to lease or anything?
He
He
didn't
wanted
get that
them-
opportunity because
You wouldn't even listen to him.
Well, we are working on mounting cardio.
So they need to go somewhere else besides that corner.
Pardon?
They need to go somewhere else besides that corner.
I tried to talk them elsewhere.
Well,
That corner is very valuable for them. They'll have.
well, I
walking
don't think
cardio
that
for
we
'em
should
and
be tearing
everything.
that building down to build a building. We have other places we can build that building. That building needs to be sold. The town needs the money.
They make an offer to buy it?
They were going to.
I wish you could have heard their proposal.
I
But
talked to them before they came here.
I mean, I was looking forward to hearing what they were going to say tonight. We missed that.
Because he called them, so that's why they didn't bother.
No, I called them. They said they were trying to purchase 2 properties. And there was reasons because of financial, that was where that was where they were at.
They had the backer. And then
That's
they
not-
wanted
that's not what they
35
told me.
acres of land to
Huh?
do their racetracks. Which that would have been great over here. With the lake and everything else, yeah, that would have been wonderful. And it would have went great with your firearms. Cause people would have came through and say, hey, look what we can do here. Instead of looking at a cardiovascular center. I mean, I'm not saying you can't put it here, but put it somewhere else besides that corner.
Irregardless of the situation, there should have been no contact without the council being made aware of the situation. And they should have presented what they were gonna put together to bring forth here tonight for us to hear what was gonna be presented. And then we could have collaboratively made a decision amongst each other, or at least heard what they had to say. But instead, somewhere, something was transpired to them that decided for them to say, we have no interest here no more. We're out.
That isn't what I told them, and I told them right here that we had. That property was under lease.
But it's not under
Well-
lease.
I mean, we're negotiating. And we've been working on that.
But
And
it hasn't went anywhere, Joel, in 2 years, 3 years that I've been on this council.
we haven't been dealing with it for 3 years, but anyway.
But
But-
pretty close.
What is the status of the clinic?
That's
I mean, where are we at?
We were
Item
looking at
18A.
valued engineering to get the price down. We're waiting for the state and the feds to finish off what they're doing. We think we got another $1,050,000 there.
You think,
Well, we don't have a guarantee, but the governor's office is behind it.
but these other guys were a guarantee.
Well, they may have told you that, but I wasn't in the loop on that.
They came here, but you just pretty much,
No, I did.
yeah, you did.
Why did we even call
Huh?
them? Why were they even contacted without the rest of us knowing that they were being contacted?
That's actually my job. And I was
I guess
trying
they-
to offer them other spots because I really liked their idea. And they just said, they
They
were
were trying to
dealing.
talk them out of their liking from that spot, is my understanding.
Yeah,
By
told them to
offering
go to the
another
marina.
spot.
He told them to go to the marina.
No, I didn't tell them to go to the marina. They told me they were dealing with the marina. They probably, they told me stuff I probably should not disclose, so I won't. But there was reasons.
Yep.
Why they're doing what they're doing. They were looking, as they said, they were looking at buying Lucky 5 and buying the marina. That's what they were looking at.
But they didn't want the Lucky Pies building. They wanted the city hall. And you told them it wasn't available. Didn't you?
I told them right here it wasn't available now. I said, we're working on
That
cardiopulmonary.
would have really helped the town. The cardiovascular center can go anywhere in town.
But we could have still heard their proposal.
Yeah.
We didn't have to make any decision. We don't have any legal bind to Wyoming cardiopulmonary. We could have heard what they had to say,
I did not tell them not to bring a proposal.
but you,
No, I did not.
unfortunate.
Say something.
Sure.
Please do.
It's about asbestos
As a
mitigation.
As a person who actually utilizes the services of Wyoming Cardiopulmonary at their traveling office in Riverton, I just want to tell you how thinking is. Their office is way back behind the hospital. It's not on the main track. People are not going to be driving through town and see the sign. I'm not dissing anything. I'm just saying, think about this in the future. People are not going to be driving through town and see Wyoming Cardiopulmonary and go, oh, Bessie, we could stop here. That it can be off the site because they're going to be contacted. Okay, your appointment is on so-and-so date. Here is the address. And so they will find it. Shoshoni's not a big town. They will find it if it's not on Main Street on that very valuable corner. But if it's somebody like Bud's Hamburgers or John's 4x4 rental or something like that, tourists could be going through that intersection and saying, oh, Bessie, I didn't know they had that here. Let's stop and do this afternoon. And so I just want you to think about in the future, the thinking of the people that you're trying to attract. Like I said, Wyoming Cardiopulmonary You go where the building is, you go where the doctor is, and they're gonna tell you where it is. You don't have to just be driving by and seeing it. But there are a lot of very useful businesses that they're not gonna know about if it's off out of the way. But if it's on the main corner, people are gonna be more likely to stop.
Wyoming Cardiopulmonary, when they first came to me, I tried to talk them to go elsewhere. Wyoming Cardiopulmonary wants to build it right there across the street from another really nice building. And when all the people are driving through the big, nice, beautiful building says Wyoming Cardiopulmonary on it, that also helps advertise their building.
Then if that's the corner they want to build it on,
That is.
perfect. Why don't they just buy the corner now and the building now and carry forward?
There,
But instead, we're just tying this up in the meantime.
Well, probably because there's asbestos in there and we need to mitigate it.
well,
Is
that's
there a
part of
choice
it, but I didn't
somewhere
want,
that-
would be just.
but it's,
Motion is about asbestos, abatement, not.
right.
And then there's some place that is similar to that corner, near that corner, that they could be noticed
Right there behind the motel, there's the old motel land right there.
as you're coming into town.
Mhm.
Talking about.
There's no asbestos there either.
Yeah,
It's not
It's
big
flat
enough
land. I
land.
mean, it's not like you have to bulldoze it and level it and
right.
to put in a parking lot and all that other good stuff. If it's already flat to begin with and nothing to tear down, it would be cheaper, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Okay, point of order, Mr. Mayor, can we, turn back to, Old Town Hall, best clean up and address it at the round table, please?
Great, we're gonna do it again.
I'm just trying to stick to the agenda.
I do too.
I'm not asking you, Mayor, we just ask the point of order.
You know, well, I'm just gonna say. Town could get $2 million in the next 20 years. And that would be a game changer for this town. Anyway, we'll
so
move
maybe
on.
that 4x4 could too.
Economic development land sale, we have a,
Did we decide anything on Old Town Hall asbestos cleanup?
no, we didn't. Okay,
You said there's DEQ funding. What do we gotta do to apply to get rid of the asbestos? Cause if we
That's
sell
why-
it, if we tear it down, or if we sit here and look at it. If we can get the asbestos handled, that's one thing we ain't gotta worry about in the future. And if there's funding for it, I think we should try. to
that's
take
why I
advantage
brought
of it.
that up, because
Yeah. How do we do that?
we gotta apply with DEQ, they're waiting waiting for an application. We got a deadline coming up. And if we don't get it, we may not get it done, they should maybe next. But anyway, we did the asbestos out of it.
Well, I move we pursue the Old Town Hall asbestos cleanup.
When's the deadline?
I don't have the date in front of me.
It's like it with Jake's motion.
Been moving second, we apply the DEQ.
If the council wants, I have the contacts for Cindy. I wrote the last one for the abatement for the old motel. If you direct, I'll get it done this week.
I've been dealing with Cindy on this, we'll get it done.
Well, I don't think it's something we should wait till next year.
No, I think that we should
I mean,
do
we
it
should
now,
have
that's
some
why I
dates
brought
and
it
know
to
when the
this,
deadline
that's-
is due and all the things.
that's
and we
why I brought it to.
Present.
That's why I brought it up, so we can apply for it. Any more discussion? Been, what? Been moved and second, Councilman Stettler and Councilman Mordine moving second. That will apply for,
The asbestos cleanup.
yes, asbestos cleanup. Any more discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye, both the same, motion passed. Economic development land sale, we have a offer on 4 lots in our west Acre subdivision.
Who's our realtor on our side?
We're not using a realtor, we're doing this direct.
Thought we had one.
Yeah,
We don't have a contract with any realtor at this time.
I thought that's how we set this map up.
This map?
Yeah.
It's not filed yet. We're gonna have our next council meeting, we'll have.
So we can't
Okay.
agree with nothing with her till we have this
No,
file.
we can do this. We're going off. We're going off this plat, which what it will be, and she's got a copy of the plat. And when we get this filed,
I don't wanna do anything till we file this.
I'm gonna have to agree with that.
there's,
We can't sell something when we don't have. We
We can't
This file.
sell it without a public hearing regardless, so.
no, we gotta go through, this'll,
So if we agree that that's what we want to do, there's still another step period with the
Yeah.
public hearing and all.
yeah, we gotta have three hearings. This will be through economic development, workforce housing. That's the only way we can sell it like this. Other than that, it'd be put it up for bid. But this is workforce housing. We're selling for economic development. The land, there's 4 lots, one of the smaller lots. They'll put 2 tiny homes. And on the other 3 lots will be duplexes. So that would create 8 housing units for workforce housing.
What was the classification of the tiny home though? Because when we built some of this at the special meeting, we specifically outlined that we weren't gonna allow tiny homes.
In R1.
Yeah, but, and
Because
we had
decided
our
to zone all
discussion,
that.
All of it, that's what we decided in.
that isn't
You
what
weren't
I
here.
remember. We discussed on the smaller lot on the south end. That tiny homes
Not
could
for
be there
tiny
too.
homes, we
Yes,
did
we
not.
No, we did
We
not.
talked for duplexes or townhouses, not tiny homes.
We talked about tiny homes on.
No, we did
smaller
not.
lots, And
That
we-
is on YouTube and we can pull that. We talked about
This one's gonna Be
townhouses
interesting to watch.
Yeah.
and we talked about,
we talked about whether 2 tiny
Townhomes.
homes or 3 tiny homes.
no, we
on
did
the
not,
smaller
Joel.
lot, and
Joel, we
decided-
did not. We talked about townhomes and duplexes.
we talked-
Never once did we discuss tiny houses. We brought up tiny houses was not an option.
We discussed that and the question was whether 2 or 3 and
No, we did
No,
not.
we did not.
we did not, huh?
I really don't think we did either, Joel. I remember duplexes and townhomes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had that special meeting.
It wasn't, it was recommended by Lisa Burridge, tiny homes there.
Well, but that was after our discussion, but.
She's not even our realtor.
We never agree. I don't know that we as council ever agreed to that.
Okay, I'm wrong then about that. Well, she's definitely not interested in the other lot if she can't build a tiny home there.
Townhouse there, I'm all for it.
She's wanting to build they're 1,200 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath duplex, 1,200 square foot.
Yeah, that's
each side.
great. That's great. It's the tiny homes that's an issue. You didn't,
Yeah, in block 13.
the tiny homes in block 13 are what's the issue in this?
Right.
The rest of it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yep.
A townhouse in that,
I guess I don't understand the problems with tiny homes, but
I don't
currently-
either, especially on those lots.
In,
currently we have one on 6th Street.
So-
It's wonderful.
yeah, but in R3 it's permitted. But right now, all of that is zone R1, and that discussion was talking about
We
changing
don't that?
R1 and rezoning that side section R2.
Right.
Which is where the tiny homes are in R3, and that meeting, we didn't talk about rezoning that to R3, we talked about rezoning to R2.
Right.
Which is why the change was put in there to allow townhouses, 2-family homes as a townhouse in R2. And so maybe that's where some of the confusion is lying here in this
Yeah.
conversation.
I remember that discussion being R2. I mean, that was like, you explained what R2 really meant and what that was for, and that made sense, but it was duplexes and townhomes, what I remember.
But to Joel's point, R3 is allowed in R3, even with our current change, it was always put in there as 700 square foot minimum, which is
tiny homes in R three.
And then our average.
But that's
700
all
foot,
Yes.
tiny home is
We
600
this
square
all
foot or
R1.
less.
This is our two.
Yeah, right now it's, but we haven't codified it yet, it's still.
But we could rezone that across the bottom R3 and put tiny homes there.
We don't want tiny homes in there.
I personally disagree.
What's the minimum for a residential house?
We were
Well,
talking
depends on
about-
what zone you're in. So
I mean, just for the city,
We were saying what.
there isn't one currently. The zoning that we went through earlier,
oh, that's what.
that will adopt standards depending on what zone you're in for what you could have size.
And define the zone, and then you need to visit city hall and find out.
I mean, we could, for instance, but it's not finalized yet, but that's the proposal is that each zone has a different specification for the size of the home.
Yeah.
So that way you don't have an R1, you build a $350,000 house, guy next door to you builds a $10,000 tiny home you bought from Amazon. That would be kind of,
Sound familiar?
Across the alley.
but, so it's all about zoning. But in this case, I was just trying to clear up any confusion because there is tiny homes allowed in R3. That's all I was trying to say.
Is that going to change or?
That's up to the council.
Yeah. I was gonna suggest more than 600 square foot as a tiny home. Under
That's
600
not what we
foot,
talked about out there. We talked about anywhere from 900 to 1,200 is what we talked about, and we were firm on that.
So a tiny home cannot be less than 900 square feet?
Well, we said that the new development piece
Oh, homes.
couldn't be less than 900 square feet. And we really wanted to be at 1,200 square feet.
Okay.
And that was,
And the strip across the bottom of the development, that's where we said the 900 would be fine in a duplex situation, 900 per
Yeah.
side,
Per side, yeah.
Yeah.
or in a townhome.
right?
Well, that sounds logical.
okay. So we will next, I can reach back to and Cindy and tell her no tiny homes and block 13 is on. Well, she wants,
Certainly build a 900 square foot townhome there.
Duplex.
Yep.
okay. That's what we'll do there. So. If she will accept. That on a smaller duplex on that lot. Do we accept this offer and start the process for workforce housing?
It don't have to be a duplex. It could be a tiny home as well. It could be one individual 900 square foot home.
It's, yeah, I don't. She said it did. She said with the two tiny homes are pretty cheap to build. It doesn't work financially for
But
her
she
to
would
build.
have
She's
to-
building rentals.
She'd have to
She's building rentals, so it may not financially work for her. The others do. The others work for her fine. And I'll see if that'll work, or I can ask.
Tiny homes aren't an option, I suppose. I guess that just sums this up. That's
Okay.
what we agreed upon at the special meeting.
Well, I move that we accept the written proposal and move forward on that.
Except the
With the-
tiny.
Well, if you'd like to make a motion, go ahead.
Okay.
You don't have anything.
Okay.
With the exception of the tiny home portion of it, if you'd like to substitute that for something that's
Fits our zoning.
agreeable to everyone but otherwise, other than the tiny home portion, I move that we accept it and move forward. There still has to be 2 more readings and a public hearing.
I'd second that.
Okay, been moved by Captain Silver, second by Councilman Nordine. We accept the offer. For the property, but kind of condominiums will be allowed.
Yeah, no tiny home.
Okay.
Townhouse or duplex.
Any further discussion? None
Yes,
being
I
all,
have some discussion.
okay, go ahead.
If she still wants to move forward without that tiny home and all that, then we have to get an appraisal.
Yes,
And we've got a plan for that.
yeah, well, I'll reach out first thing we have to do is to,
Right, I mean, supposing this vote passes and supposing she finds that still acceptable and wants to proceed forward, then we
Yes.
have to get an appraisal.
yes, we do.
I was just clarifying for the record.
Yes,
We
yes,
also
do.
need to get this filed ASAP.
Well, apparently,
Yeah, their next council meeting.
yeah.
Apex is, Gary with Apex is gonna be here and present that.
Okay, that's all lined out too then.
Yeah, next council meeting.
Right. As long as it's filed before the purchase takes place,
Yes.
it should be golden,
Sure.
but we can move
Correct.
forward with everything.
Any more discussion? None being all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, pose the same. Motion passes. Economic Committee recommendations.
The Economic Committee met Saturday to go over applications received from 5 different entities for TAD funding as well as economic development funding. So this is a 2-part presentation. We have $7,800 remaining in this budget year of TAD funds. As you know, July 1st, it goes over to the Chamber of Commerce. And that is a different fund that they'll start July 1st. And I think it's 10,400. They'll have the award after July 1st. But until then, it's the town's to award. We have some projects that are going on in June and May. So that's why we had that meeting. It was kind of an emergency meeting to go get these approved. So there was some partial fundings and some additional fundings that were recommended to fulfill the $7,800 of the 5 entities. The Chamber of Commerce requested $2,000 for advertising and newsletters to go along with the senior center and the things they're doing around the community to promote. So they were recommended 2,000. And by the way, this is all a reimbursement type thing. So they spend it, they turn in the receipts, they get the money. So it's not, we just give you $2,000 and hope you spend it on the right things. The chamber, so the recommendation of the committee was $2,000 for the chamber. Next up was Shoshoni House Summer Nights 3-on-3 tournament, June 28th or 27th, 28th. That also, the $2,000 is the cap that was instituted last year. It used to be 1,000, and we increased it to 2,000. And the committee recommended 2,000 for the Shoshoni Hot Summer Nights. Crossroads of Wyoming is the speed trials. One event this year. Requested 3,500 was 3,500 was requested. And it was, as I said, some of these were changed on the economic development side, but from the TAD fund, 1,000 was recommended. The Flywheelers requested 2,000 for their event for advertising as well as their promotions for the Flywheelers event that takes place later this month. They requested 2,000. 2,000 was agreed or awarded, recommended for to be awarded. And then CWC requested $1,000 for their Hot Notes Cool Nights concerts they do. The 3rd year they're doing it. They requested 1,000, and they were recommended $800 in funding for TAD. On the economic development side, there was 2 applications for that, which is a different fund, which has different availability. TAD is for advertising and promotional type stuff. Economic development can be spent for actually things like personnel to put on the event and different aspects that it can be used for that event. So that's the difference. They're not commingled. I just want to be clear. They're not commingled funds. They are completely separate things. Economic development, the 3-on-3, requested 2,000. The total project cost on that's on the economic development form, that's on the TAD. And that's one of the things that we evaluated. The 3-on-3 tournament costs approximately $12,600 to put on, and 2,000 was recommended. Crossroads of Wyoming had requested 500, I believe, and recommended was 1,000. So that total on that was 5,600 to put on that event estimated. So one of the things we looked at was about a third of the cost was being funded by TAD and or economic development as kind of a cap, not fully funding one event, but because, you know, they get donations, they sell things. And that was kind of the cap, that the metric that went into place here for these numbers that were recommended. So Hot Summer Nights with 2,000 in TAD, 2,000 in economic development, Crossroads of Wyoming, 1,000 in TAD, 1,000 in economic development. And the cost is 12,600 for one, 5,600 for the other. And that's where those numbers came from. And that uses the remaining TAD monies and $3,000 total in economic development. The second recommendation that we discussed and talked about was that was not added on to the chamber receiving the funds July 1st was a form of accountability. Because right now they just get the money and then we just hope they do the right thing. One of the recommendations was to have that they have the funds, they write the checks, but it's not written until they provide a presentation to the town council of what they're proposing spending it on, kind of like we're doing right now. And the council agrees with that before they actually cut the checks, just for some level of council, because ultimately the money belongs to the town. And so that we didn't put that layer of accountability in, but that's the other recommendation. It's not saying they can't have their own awarding system and do things that way. It's just putting a little bit of accountability remaining with the town to be able to hear what they're going to award before they actually cut the checks. So that was the other recommendation. Sorry, I'm a little tired and I kind of breezed through that, so I can backtrack on anything if you have any questions.
I think that was talked about, that was brought up by, remind me his name.
John Meyer.
John brought that up in that, you know, as past mayor of Du Bois and his knowledge in that aspect. That ultimately it is the town's awarded money to utilize. And so if it is misspent or misfunded or anything of that nature, the town is the one that is solely liable. And so that just allows that check and balance. It's not saying the chamber can't award this to whoever. It just makes sure that it keeps it in the wheelhouse. And as prior as some of the chamber members are sitting here, we're excited about the new chamber, but the past chamber kind of had a sour taste. So there's a little bit of.
That's understandable.
And so it's basically just, you guys recommend everything, and just before you cut the checks, you let the town council know how you're gonna spend it. And that's just accountability.
And that it adds,
That
what I'm
layer.
hearing, it adds another layer of transparency as well.
Yes.
Or removes a
Yeah.
layer of transparency. How do you say that? But it's more transparent and not, then it'll be on YouTube for everyone to see.
Right.
And we talked about in length about that, you know, we didn't want it to come off that we're like giving you the money, but then saying, no, never mind. That's not, was not the intention. The intention was just to find the strike the right balance that the town council has. At least to any taxpayer that comes up, that they at least can say, yes, this is why we, you know, just giving that up there. So that's it.
Yeah, elected officials oversight.
Yeah.
Always good.
So that's the final recommendation. It's just that extra layer in there.
Yeah, Du Bois had issues that they had to take the funding away from the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, well, John talked about it quite a bit.
Yep,
so.
yep.
I move that we accept and agree to all of the Economic Development Committee recommendations that were just
Been moved
presented.
by Councilman Settler, accept the recommendations from the Economic Development Committee for TAD and Economic Development Funding.
Second? Mark?
Sure. Where's that even on the agenda, the economic development?
You got the wrong agenda. She
Yeah.
printed off the original agenda, not the actual agenda. So it was.
He added
It was
that.
over. I had the one I passed out when I came back and I was passing out those agendas.
Yep.
It was just a,
I
they
didn't
look,
have
they
it
look
on
almost
mine
identical
either,
besides
except
one little
for
thing.
addition.
Yeah.
Right.
I second the new agenda.
Good.
Item on economic development,
It actually was the official agenda.
whatever.
At this
Further,
point.
any further discussion?
Just please let the record know that I abstained from the vote regarding Shoshone Hot Summer Nights.
I will also abstain from the vote. And why Crossroads Wyoming's request is so high last year, we got awarded more than we asked for, then it was an issue with TAD. So I just throw a big number in there so they can't say that, yeah, that was the
Well,
issue.
we were worried until we got the other economic one, that actually had your actual cost, then it made sense. So it was like, that's why it evened them out.
Yeah. Anyway, that was why that was.
Oh, hey, I just checked the published agenda. Councilman Nordine has economic committee. Well, that was the one that was published. Had it. The one that was sitting here when we got here didn't have it, but the one
Yeah.
that was actually published
Yeah,
did have it.
because that was done.
It's fine, it came around.
No, but I mean,
I still have my original, and that's what I made it off
So-
of.
I'm just saying it wasn't on what I was looking.
All in favor, say aye.
I-
Opposed, the same. Motion passes all affirmative. Councilman Whitener and Mayor Highsmith did not vote, abstain from voting. We're down to Wyoming cardiopulmonary update. We sort of discussed that. We're working on it. Looking for value engineering, trying to get this project where it's working, get built. We have a August 1st deadline for more funding. That's where we're at.
That's 2.5 months out.
Yep, we have an August 1st deadline for funding.
Is. We're all kind of like, this needs to either, to quote Dolly Parton, tinkle or get off the pot.
oh,
You know.
August 1st it will.
What's that?
August 1st it
it will.
will.
Well, that's 2.5 months away, then it's in. It just needs to get done. I mean, that's just,
We're going through all the governmental issues we to do, legislature tried to kill the business council and it would have ended, so they're still alive this year. But that's where we're at.
you just hear it's going on forever. And I think it needs to be finalized somehow, one way or another.
Well, we'll probably know that by August 1st. I
I'd
mean,
like
we
to know.
won't, because that $6 million BRC 1% loan will go away.
The new fiscal year is July 1st. Why can't we have a July 1st date for the state?
The state, I didn't set the date,
Who set the date?
the state,
The state did the.
yeah,
All right, I
the
didn't understand that.
Slib set the date. I had nothing to do with the date. Slib set the date.
Okay.
It's just
Yeah, we-
unfortunate when we have other people approach.
Yeah, and they could have something started in a month.
Don't do much of a slip sets the date. I get it, yeah. I'm good.
Okay, I don't know what other,
Yeah, there's not much that can be done.
any other questions? Take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Been moved by Councilman Hartke. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Stetler that we adjourn. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, same motion. That was about 10:04.
10:03.
3.
10:03.